Cheers, everybody. Happy Shatterdaze. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I'm coming through. But we'll see. Hopefully all has been well with everybody this week. It's been a crazy one. If you're not here, let me know, because there's a possibility that no volume is coming through. So. Scythe, what up, dude? Hello to everybody. Hopefully all is well. Kim, back once again. Good to have you once again as well. So. Gypsy, just joined. I heard you say no volume, but I can thank you for letting me know. I wasn't sure. I'm running a lot of programs on my computer at once, and my computer sucks. So it might be laggy, and it might be, I was worried there was no volume, because right now I'm using that to play my guitar through as well. Liam, how's life this week? Any new animals? No, not yet. I still got the crazy ones I'm dealing with now. So, but things have been good. Everything's been okay. Working a lot. Never home. So, I guess that's good and bad. I think that's the constant struggle in life right now is work, free time, work, free time, money, free time, money, free time. Free time should always win, but it never seems to anymore. But hopefully all with you guys. And yeah, it's just been a interesting week. Got a lot of mushrooms going. I got a whole bunch of oyster mushrooms right there. And that's always makes me happy. Liam, how can we have time unless we take the time? And I don't know. I keep on pushing it where I'm like, oh, I'll work a lot right now, and in the near future I'll work less. But that hasn't seemed to happen yet. It's been rough. Gypsy, nice mushrooms. Yes, got tons of oyster mushrooms popping up right next to me. I just popped 2 cakes, and I think I have like over 20 more to go. Got the clones right over there. Might be hiding behind all these bongs, but got some clones right here, going ready to go. So clonage is going good, growing nicely. It's growing good over here, and that's one of the most important for me. So hopefully everything's going good for you guys. Anything. I know Mr. Billy Bong always is, which is nice. Let's see what we got here. All right, so Liam, I saw you were cooking oyster mush last week. Were they tasty? First off, yes, they were amazingly tasty. Weird is they actually tasted kind of fishy. Slight lobster or crab flavor to them. Some kind of shellfish. Very subtle, and I've never seen it. My girlfriend has had a lot of mushrooms. She's foraged for them and got them out in the wild, and she said that flavor. She's bought them, never had that flavor, but the ones I grew had that distinct, slightly fishy one. Oh, hope I'm still there. See, my computer's having some trouble. But hopefully you guys are still with me. Like I said, I know it's a little choppy right now. Hello. Gypsy going a little pixelated and freezing for a second. I got a lot going on my computer. It's not very happy with me right now. I could probably shut down a couple things and it'll start doing better. All right, Liam, I like oysters with a bit of Tabasco. I'm assuming vegans don't eat oysters. If so, that's a strange one. I suppose we are too, though. Overfishing, I mean. I know there's any, but never did. Yeah, I don't eat. Yeah, so it's weird, and it does have an almost oystery, fishy taste, which is really weird. They're delicious. We just sautéed them with some butter, which is vegan butter, but you wouldn't know the difference. The butter they have is really good, and we had them on the night. I forget what we made that night. My girlfriend made something like full day's worth of meals of just mushrooms here soon. So, but let's go ahead and spin that wheel of dabs and dab upon that wheel. The chongeth bongeth it is. So this clears up everything. But recording and stuff live, make like my on there recording all the time. Just hang out with people while I make my fucking album. But Liam, I got a VR headset for the boy for Christmas and tried it out. I got terrible motion sickness. That right there is why I haven't checked those out that much. There's been some cool looking games, but I've been told by people who do not get car sick and motion sick, and I do, that they're getting headaches and I had to stop. I've heard that from multiple people. There was some video games that used to give me motion sickness, so I feel like I'm extra susceptible to that. I used to play. God, that's fucking me up, dude. I can't watch the screen for too long. Sometimes tripping is, I feel like that's the problem too. That was fun. It was worth a shot. I'm hoping things will clean. It is the man. It's Nick. I'm hoping that right here, this will clear it all up. Pretty much that. I'm guessing in just a second it'll all clear up and be fine. What else can I do? Yeah. I need a better computer. There we go. That's better. Yes. But Nick, good to have you here. Stream looks fine. Well, I just fixed it. So, like I said, my idea was here, and I still might do it, even though the stream quality might suck. I don't know how bad it'll be. Eventually, I just need a better computer, first off. I need like a ridiculously nice computer. So I figured in my head, I just got the basic equipment for doing. When I bought this computer, originally, all my computers I bought for one sole purpose, and that's for making music, which really doesn't require that much, fucking computing power or whatever. To the point where, I always get it where it's just a little bit above where it should be. And I don't know shit about computers, to be honest. I just try to run the program on them. But I would get a little bit better than I needed, and then try and like play a video game. Like I play any video game, like a newer game, it runs like shit. And I realize, okay, this computer is still not amazing by any means. And I taxed them. Like I said, I would like to be running my music program on there, on this screen over here, doing this live stream on this screen. It'd be cool to be able to have someone looking up references and shit like that on another screen, and all types of nice stuff. And using, I have it right here. I have this program called OBS. I was just going to tell you, Liam. Perfect timing. Liam says you should try running it through OBS. OBS on its own, just by itself, is super laggy. So this is running it just through YouTube live stream. And that right now is the best I have. If I go through OBS, it runs like shit, but OBS has cool features. Like I could play things in the corner here, or I could make the whole screen playing something and I could be in the corner. I could show you what I'm recording with. Instead of doing two screens like I'm doing now, just have my programming up here so I could be watching it through there. All types of cool stuff. It comes down to my computer is lacking, I guess. And my girlfriend's watching stuff on YouTube right now too. Normally that alone is enough to fuck it up. Just two computers running two things. The fact that I'm just taxing it is all it's doing. So my internet's taxed, my computer's taxed. I'm at that point right now where I'm taxing everything. My capacity to grow pot, my capacity to grow mushrooms, my fucking all up, fucking my computers are fucking being pushed to the limit. Unfortunately, I don't like upgrading things. I want to just have them and last forever. I don't care. But I keep on needing to upgrade shit. Nick, you're doing just a stream that records from a webcam, so like the 700 plus range would be more than enough. For just send me links to potential PCs you're looking at when the time comes. It may just be your internet speed, which I could. That would be something I've been thinking of. Jacob, peace. 420 Venom guy. Okay, Jacob Mitchell. I'm glad you're watching this right now. Right now. And Todd, hello from Thornton. Hello from Denver. Again, hopefully the stream is better now. Like I said, it was fucking up. It is what it is. I would like to do some other stuff. My big goal, like I said, was to live stream me making all my albums. So you could watch me live make my music. That's always entertaining or not, may be different. But then that's for me too. I could go back and watch the process of me doing it, get live, other people around. An Ethernet cable if you're not already. I can't in this room. And my Ethernet cable is hooked up to my main front room because I use that technically way more than I use this one. Really, this computer, most of the work I do on this computer isn't even online. So that was another thing too, where I'm like, most of it, my music production, I could do on a computer offline. I just need and like what I found out, Pro Tools and all that shit, my computer can run pretty good. Like, I guess music programs don't run VSTs. Music programs, even with a bunch of them on, don't run too much. I mean, I'll tax them a little bit, but like it'll be like maybe 60% of my computer CPU or whatever it is. So I mean, it's not that bad, but I don't know. I'll figure it all out. Till then, everybody, thanks for joining me. Happy Shatterdaze, and let's blaze. The Ethernet cable is a huge improvement. Straight, that does help a lot. But the house I'm in doesn't have any fucking phone jacks. I have one, and I had to fix it to get that one working. And this is the other end of the house. Wi-Fi was the... But this show's a big part of it, so I will try and get that better. I've thought about some things. Like I said, I have so many ideas for what I want to do. You know, when I first got this computer, I didn't even start doing the show. So the computer's old now, too. I've only been doing this show for about a little bit over a year, maybe. Time flies. But I was in a pretty bad spot before that and didn't even know if I was going to do a show. I've had plans off and on to start the show. I'm doing the show, but I'm not really doing the show. All I'm doing is hanging out, which I love. but this isn't the show I set out to make. This is just fun. And it's just one of those things where I'm still pretty. I'm not fucking going and seeing family. We're not doing holiday shit. Doing the essential shit and staying in. It's really bad, and it's really bad everywhere. So we're just staying in. So this is still my blazing with people. So I appreciate it. Nick, it's crazy how much time flies. It is. And unfortunately, there's a lot of things where I've said this a lot in my life. I have a lot of but they're not regrets for things I've done. They're not like I've fucked people over, things like that. I have regrets for the thing I do, for the most part. Where it's like, I wish I would have just, finished a little bit more like on my music and shit like that. But, we all go through. I'm lucky to even have made the music I did make. I was, you go in and out of phases of how you feel and how you're able to produce. Liam, your YouTube videos are great. I love the new when you get the time. I'd love new ones. I feel like... So I absolutely have no problem that there's 5 people on right now, especially with these chats. Keeping it small is way... If I just start pumping out more videos of how-tos and yada yada, I could at least increase... Which I got like 3,500 subscribers now, and that's not bad. I'm super happy with that, especially with how little effort I've put into it over this long. I had so many ideas. I could fill up a notebook with shit that a lot of it is very time intensive and sometimes expensive. I've been kind of broke and everything, but I'll tell you, I've been in great spirits, and that's the whole reason that everything's been going so positive. So my goal is keep in good spirits and get shit done. What I've realized is I keep waiting for things to get better, and that never comes. So just do it right now, and things will get better, or they won't. But at least you've gotten something done. So I had a job that I made at least $25 an hour, at least, solid, and I worked it for over a decade, and I became very real. I had always said, okay, now that I have things paid off, I have my car paid off, I have my place I live in paid off, I'm pretty fucking paid off. I'm pretty fucking set as far as that is, as long as I don't go out and buy a lot of stuff. Like I said, eventually I like to get some property and yada yada, but that's big goals. Right now, I'm decently set, except, I don't know, it's just been my bills at $25 an hour, working about 40 hours a week. My job, I'm like, $17 an hour now, which is like damn near minimum wage in Colorado and Denver, downtown Denver pretty much. That shit's not going to cut it. So I'm working more and more and more, and the show suffers. So that I have these really cool ideas set up. My plants are almost growing. My mushrooms are almost growing. So I want to do a bunch of how-to videos, big videos, and shit like that. So, big dreams equal big things. Jacob, I'd love to make music with you. I'm getting good vibes from your energy, which that'd be cool. Music has been another huge thing, which I have been playing a lot. But my problem is I only have a couple hours every night, but I do play music every day. But I'll play it for like an hour, maybe, get some really good riffs written down. So now I have all these starts and not just out of sheer time. So I'll figure it all out. Cut back my cost of living, and also just, I don't know, figure it all out. Yeah, whenever I see a huge streams, the streamer becomes a little disingenuous on how they interact with chat or how they can chat at all. And that's not their fault. That is not their live chat on Thanksgiving. And, dude, there was 15,000 people watching, and it's just, you can't chat. There is no chat there. You just say a word, and people can read it as it's flying by. And don't get me wrong, there's a fine line. But I'm not I don't know. I'm not too worried about that ever happening for me necessarily. Jacob, I can flip your riffs into grind beats too, though, so we can do a bunch of stuff. I'd like to incorporate more live music into my beats and electronic sound quite original, and vice versa. If you've heard my music, I have 2 albums out. I try to, on my live music where I'm playing instruments, have a lot of production in there. Piano, but a lot of it I do play on the piano, but it's so that'd be cool. Jacob, I will contact you on my Instagram. I think I follow you. Well, for everybody, that's a good segue right into. If you would like to send me some pictures, links, collaborations, anything you'd like to say hi, send me great pictures. How do you hear your albums? Spotify now, because my external, God, my beard's all poofy. I took a nap, so my beard looks like it's a little now, which is fine, but it's because the computer's a little fucked up. My external hard drive fucking crashed for no reason with about 3 terabytes worth of shit on it, including my original album final mixes. So I have the DAW with them on there, but I just have to reprint them out or whatever. But the originals are gone. Anyway, Nick, I mostly make samples and piano loops and then experiment, which is cool. Like I said, I kind of like blend. I like every part of it. Even the shit I'm not good at, I enjoy doing. I'd say drums are my weak spot. I start with a lot of pre-done drum loops, or very simple ones, and then I just start to add and build from there. Dutchy Packin', how's it going, dude? How's the kitty cat? He's right here sleeping, which we'll keep him sleeping because otherwise he's right here. So. Nick. Liam, good night. Catch you next time. Thanks for joining me. Sorry the earlier part was a little sketchy. I tried to see how that worked because, like I said, my goal was to blend me just making my albums and doing live streams at the same time. Because I'm in here. What I'm doing is I'm in here doing my fucking playing and I'm smoking weed. I'm like, man, sometimes it'd just be fun. I'm like, my camera is right here. I'm playing it here. There's no reason I couldn't do both, which I still might do, even with a bad stream. I don't know. Jacob, how do I hear you? Oh, excuse me. I thought you said, how do I hear my own albums? Spotify. Uh, Purple Shark. I can't spell it. And Symbiote, but the Symbiote one, there's only it's all fucked up. So I look like a stoner Jack Sparrow, Dick. My and that's the other band name I have. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. My girlfriend's never actually. I mean, she's seen pictures of me, but she's never seen me without the beard. So it might be weird if I just shave it all off. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about the beard, especially since it's so fucking gray. But it is what it is. All right, let's spin the wheel of dabs. I spin the wheel. It goes around. What it lands on, that's what we take a dab at next. Nick, when I get stoned, those moments, when stoned, I get, and I'm ready. I'm really in this for the long run. Yeah, sometimes I get. Realize is I just can't think about the realness, trueness of how everything really is, or how much it relies just on your perception. You know, how easily your perception can be changed. You know, it could be a moldy piece of bread or a undercooked piece of potato. You know what I mean? You never know what's messing with your head, is the point. Having a decent sense of reality is important to me. But it's faulting. The more I think about it, the more I realize that it's just a very temporary glass filter that you're able to see through, you know, but it goes away. So I don't know. I think that's where a lot of anxiety stems from, is the fact that we're always trying to be stuck in the now, and we're trying to, there's a high sense of self preservation at all times. You know, the best thing for you to have is a very strong perception of what's going on around you, in case any type of danger comes around you, and you adapt from there. Doing drugs can kind of alter your senses and leave you in a state where perhaps you're more susceptible, or at least that's what makes you anxious and think about that. Fighting between the two, trying to stay grounded and going off in another place. And what's funny is eventually you realize that you start getting that funny feeling even without the drugs. You know, people say pot makes you anxious, but then eventually a lot of those people who get anxious from pot just get anxious all the time. They have an underlying problem that's separate. How you're feeling anyway. All right, Nick. Started getting started to get introspective and reflect on deep thoughts. Yes, I still suck at taking seriously, like when someone is sad or something like that. So I don't know what made me start being more that way, but I've always been pretty. No, I'm just joking. um, Being introspective and caring about other people. Shoot him. I thought I was having a pretty 17. So 17 and 8 thinking for the first time as well. Like thoughts on mortality, and because that was like the first direct funeral stuff. Anyway, Sandy, haha. Piece of bread, a Christmas Carol reference. Ho ho ho. Yeah, good timing for it too, huh? Not bad. Or a piece of digested potato. Christmas. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Christmas. It's Christmas music. No, it is what it is. Next year and the next year. So it was your best day ever. Make that the day that you do something awesome. Uh-oh. You're cutting out. Now, my shit's cutting in and out here. I don't know if you're noticing it, but I am. I could get a faster internet speed, but I only do one live. That's quite a bit, really. It'd be nice. So then I wouldn't have to do one thing or the other, have it work correctly. But it is what it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right now, we're all just making ends meet. Nick, morality is the most common mind. And especially when I'm looking at my parents or after I was going too fast through the back road and almost veered off a tree. Luckily, regained control. Yeah. Um, Again, yeah, I don't know. I think about my own mortality a lot at my age now, which I think about it a lot. And I distinctly remember a time where I didn't think about it at all. And I'm slightly envious of those who don't really fucking care about it either. I was definitely ready to take it head on for a lot of my life. So, but cheers to everybody. Thank you for being here. Here's Jay. Here's Jay, everybody. Gypsy, I have kids in the house. I have Christmas songs playing all waking hours. A little rough. I hardly ever have time to watch my serial killer shows anymore. That's funny. Cheers, everybody. Geese. Nick, good. I brought water. Yes, I did. Tea. Although I already killed my tea. That's why I'm half awake. I was getting pretty tired there. Well, Gypsy. Yeah, real killer shows. I used to watch those a lot with my grandma. I just haven't been over there anymore. But we used to watch Friends and all those shows all the time. She likes those shows. Investigative murder porn? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, cheers, everybody. And cheers to water, too. Here's to agua. Gypsy. That's investigative murder porn. Dutchy packing. Cheers, everybody. Nick, I like surreal horror like Phantasm, which is still on my list, although my external hard drive, but I don't have it anymore as a kid. But it's a pretty trippy movie. Please reconnect. You suck ass. Anyway, Dutchy Packin', the first 48 is good. Not as good as Investigative Murder Porn, but it's good. The first 48, what I said, whatever it was. Oh, man. I didn't know that all the but had on things that I was buying every month, and who had to go. Venom do VR games well. Hi. See, and taxing it, like I said, I can't even play my music program, my DAW, digital audio works, while streaming without it just freaking out. But if I had a VR headset and had a really nice computer, I could show you what I was seeing. We could be smoking. I could have the cat sitting here fucking with me while playing a game, build me a sick-ass computer. If I had the money, I'd do it. That you packing? The Beast Awakened. Yeah, no shit. So he's always here. He's always close. He's our best friend. Better. Excellent. But yeah, everything's doing good. I got some more where the shrooms are. Spicy Dorito, how is it already Shatterday again? Yeah, no shit. You are wrong there. Nick, why is the stream laggy again? Why is it laggy now? He's still waking. You see her pop out from right here. I know we have the computer YouTube on her thing, so there's a lot of YouTube going on, computer usage. But I don't want to go over there and be like, hey, off anything, so it's fine. You know, because Saturdays are a lot more time and being able to do time because I want to shoot the make of my albums live streams. So, I don't know. Dutchy packing. Oh, you have more than one kitty. I didn't know that. I said 5 kitties. So, I have quite a few. We'll give you some. We'll go see. Off. They still haven't been introduced together yet. But I'll be right back. We'll see if we can't fix some stuff. It should. All right. All right. Nick, I think we're good now. Yeah, I know. Oh, I did another speed run recently. I obtained E55 AMG this morning around 2 a.m. 201 miles an hour. That's kind of crazy. Nick, that's fast. Nikki, what's that? Obtained E55 AMG this morning. I don't know. Sounds fast though. All right. Hopefully that's better. If not, I'll just call it an early night. I'm guessing because I tried running two things at once. Part of this, it was just destined to be kind of fucked up. I don't know. It was worth a shot. But I got some mushrooms. I'll show you. I got some plants. I got some rootage going. I'll show you some roots here. We'll get back at it. Load a bowl here. Load a bowl. And we'll smoke up real quick. Hopefully all is well. Everybody's been doing good, staying busy, and staying safe because shit's crazy. And most people I know and work with haven't been as safe as they could or should be. So hopefully you've been doing better than that. Nick, Mercedes E55 AMG with a 4.3 liter V8 and a V max power. Of course I knew that. Sweet. Nick, meaning there's no electronic limiter, which is cool. Like I said, my old car that I've ever tried to really push it to the max, which is why I don't do that with my car now. I take it on the highway and see how fast it could go, is because I'm sure it would just cut off anyway. But my old one just went to 114, I think, and then kicked it back. Dutchy, if you're uploading video and streaming, your upload might be taking some hits. Sounds like fun. Yes and no. I'm not a speed demon. I like it when I'm the one driving. I definitely don't like being a passenger in that shit. I'm not uploading anything right now. There was a video going in the other room that no one was watching. But I don't know. It is what it is. Like I said, I might try and bump up my internet speed, but I don't know how much more it's going to be to do that. So I might hold off on it. Yeah, money is everything at the moment. Unfortunately, but I guess I should be lucky because some people are in a lot worse situation than I am. Financially, I'm okay, but I have to work to be okay. And that's, I think, the goal of society right now is to get people working enough that they have to work a lot, because when you're working all the time, you can't really think about much else except for coming home and relaxing. So keeps people pretty obedient, including myself, unfortunately. Everyone was 246 miles per hour in Germany because my German cousins have a CCX. They got one of those CCXs. Oh yeah, I know those two. Dutchy, yep. So yeah, it works. Everyone's just trying to get you to barely have enough time. That's the goal, and they do succeed very well. That's why they don't get you. That's why minimum wage should be like, well, that's minimum. That's how come so many people are on minimum. It's like that's like a. What about a living wage? Hey, don't attack her. Don't you attack her. Cat's attacking the other cat. Dutchy packing 40 hours a week, which I get just a little bit less than that. I have a weird thing where I'm scheduled like 51 hours a week. I'm scheduled what? I'm scheduled 50 hours a week on the dot. Excuse me. So I'm scheduled 50 hours a week, and I end up working about 36 to 39, just about 40, because I get sent home early every day. This last week was really, I stayed late every night, but I didn't make much money while I was there, so it makes it just long days that don't feel very profitable. And But it is what it is. Unfortunately, I hate thinking about money. My goal is to try and live a life that just needs less money so I can do more of this. I would like to transition into doing things that I like a little bit more and hanging out with this guy more. He needs all the attention he can get. So, all right. 60 hours a week average, which I did for 10 years. Say about 10 years almost, at least 9 solid at the same fucking place. Which drive me crazy. And yeah, it's not fun, but it pays really well. We need communism. I don't know about that. Just joking. Maybe in the future. I, I hate isms, is what I've realized. I don't like capitalism. I don't like fucking communism. I don't like fascism. I don't like socialism strictly. I like anarchy for the most part. He's like, yeah, fucking anarchy. Cat knows what's up. You know what they say about communism. It's a party. Yeah. Communism seems a little rough. Don't get me wrong. I am not a political expert on different, I can tell you a little bit about capitalism because we live in a capitalist country. And technically, globally, it's run capitalistically. It is. It's a buy and sell market all across the world. We set that years ago. The world set that in play. Like I said, I just don't really fall into isms. I just have realized that at that point in my life, right now, anytime you're talking about anyone who's joining a group and telling a whole bunch of other people what to do, I call bullshit on every single one of them, every single time. It's always bullshit. So I've been yet to be proven differently. There's some are better than others, but at the end of the day, we just can't fucking get our heads out of our asses for 2 seconds to realize that we need to really switch shit up in a way that I think that the world needs to change in a way that I don't see anybody else fucking saying out loud. So, not politically, like there's no party that is running flying my flag. Their freak flag is not flying. Dutchie, you know what they say? You know what I'm saying? Cats are the definition of anarchy. Yeah, anarchy and yep. Well, for the most part, anarchy is a supreme distrust in authority. And I'll tell you what, like I said, yes, I do feel that, and that's what I'm saying. I don't believe in nihilism so much, which I think a lot of people associate with anarchy, where I don't believe in fucking anything, nothing. It's not so much that, it's that I don't believe in authoritarianism, anybody who's trying to push their beliefs onto you. I refuse all of it, from religion to politics to fucking people just telling you what to do. I play ball like everyone else does, and I fucking do what I need to do to pay my bills. But at the end of the day, anybody can look at me and guess that maybe I don't really fucking agree with the shit that everyone else does. Communism is an end state of economic development, according to Marx. Which I'm not well versed in Marx, although I know some decent people who are, where people become selfless. Oh, look at the kitty. He's grabbing my hand and saying, I'm going to bite you like a vampire. I'm going to bite you like a vampire. You commie, you red bastard. Anyway, communism is an end state of economic development, according to Marx, where people become selfless and do their job as duty to better their community, which on paper sounds awesome, but that's the ideal result of it. Which it's failed a few times in practice. And social, I mean, everything is great. Capitalism is great when you build it on a structure of ever growing, endless resource. which we don't have. But we always figured we'd find the next resource and the next resource. And in between finding the next resources to exploit, it's just weird. There's too much of a wage gap is my problem in this country. And some are worse, I'm sure like there's some third world countries where it's much worse. We don't live in massive, massive poverty, but I would like to see that changed up a little bit. And it's unfair that in my country, in America, we're the wealthiest in the world, yet we have a lot of fucking problems that can be solved with money. And it's like, why don't we just shift that to the people who need it and to the programs that support more people rather than the few? And how come we don't tax people who have more money than we do people with less money? That just seems somebody who has, I'd be willing to pay more taxes if I knew more people who were doing a lot worse than me were benefiting from that. I look at somebody, two people, if I look at someone who's in a welfare line or a food stamp, even if they're cheating the system, they could cheat the system every day for the rest of their life, and maybe they'll take $100. Yeah, right. If they do it every day for the rest of their lives. And then there's some guy on a fucking who owns a fucking yacht and fucking millions of dollars, parks the yacht in off seas because he's going there to use the fucking account, so he doesn't pay any taxes. And I'm like, dude, all that money that could have went into taxes and helping people there, granted most of it would have went into a military defense budget anyway. It's a shame how we blame one person because we see them every day, but we don't see billionaires and millionaires every day. And when you do, it's fucking mind blowing. They are on another fucking world. When you've actually hung out with them, it's really weird. It's uncomfortable, usually, for me. Nick, it would only work without human nature, which we have very often gone against anyways, so it's not impossible. It won't work without human nature. Because the people with money influence politics and keep the taxes low for the rich, which eventually that's where you realize that the people in power are the people with the most money, and they make the laws to benefit the few with money rather than the many without. I don't know. Power begets power, and once you're at the top, it's hard to take that away. And the people who want to get that amount of power are usually doing it for self-interests. That's why lobbying is so huge in American policies. Billions of fucking dollars. People say it's hundreds of millions, it's millions. It's like, yeah, that's what they say. Imagine what they don't say. That's what's on paper. You're talking about banksters. Those motherfuckers are the fucking crookedest barrel of snakes you've ever fucking stuck your fucking head into and start biting and expecting shit to go okay. It's not a good place to, they're fucking, like I said, those are people who keep their money offshores while people are fucking starving because they don't want to pay an extra small ass percentage to lose their gigantic fortune. For some reason, humanitarianism doesn't exist in the top percentage of wealth. Oh, there's the mushrooms. I'm going to show you some mushrooms real quick. Nick, a Trump tax bill will hit the lower and middle class after Biden gets in, allegedly. Well, that's one thing to understand, too, is every president does this. If the last president did really good at the end of his term and things were on an upslope, the next president in rides that wave up. If the last president does really bad on his last ending of his election, the next president in rides that fucking wave all the way down. And he has to build it back up again. And you do your first year in office, you're kind of playing sometimes half of it, 2 years sometimes. Your first 2 years in office, sometimes you're still just riding off of the policies of the last person in, especially if he allows you to transition properly, like every president usually has. So it's a weird thing. Dutchie, did you see the bill pass on the federal decriminalizing? Did you see the bill pass on decriminalizing the federal decriminalizing of marijuana? I saw it go in. I saw that it went up. I did not see that it had passed, because I imagine that at least some of my fucking pages I follow online would be like, mention that. Nick, I will say this. I'm extremely grateful for where I've gotten. As much as I have a much higher income in typical upper middle class than higher. I have a much higher income, a typical an upper middle class individual. I wouldn't mind paying an extra 25 cents in taxes because what I have left affords me many luxuries anyway. So yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, just the more you make, if I made a lot more, I'd be willing to pay a lot more because I wouldn't feel that percentage is hard. Another thing with taxes is if you just had a little bit more say in where they went, I wouldn't mind paying more right now. Yeah, you can tax me more right now as long as I can make sure that they're going to social programs instead of, it kind of makes you question, I feel like America spends so much money on the military budget because it knows how fucking many enemies it's made and how it's Team America and it's policing the fucking world. And that's a shame. Because now I feel like we've pigeonholed ourselves into a point where they're like, dude, trust us. If we don't put all this money into military budget, if we don't show that we're 10 times bigger than the next military, we're fucked. Because we've made so many enemies and gone to war with the whole world and burned so many bridges that the only thing that is holding together the glue of the American empire around the world is superiority and arming in military expertise. That's it. It's the largest military ever created in the entire existence of mankind, and it's spread all through the world. That's the thin layer of glue holding that eggshell of shit together. But that's why we spend all that. Because otherwise, we could not only help ourselves, we could help the whole fucking world out tremendously. But I don't know. Nick, people in countries like Switzerland and Denmark are more educated, so they realize that, which is why the rich get such a high tax percentage. And guess what? Those countries are much happier. They have some really great reform on prisons and shit like that. Reform rate and recidivism rate is fucking super low. They're really green in their countries. There's a lot of things about those places I like. Dutchy, America, fuck yeah. And that's a little bit of what it is. Nick, a lot of this comes down to greed, which the thing yeah. And like I said, that kind of comes back to where I was saying greed and not just for money, but for power. A greed for wealth and self image and how people view you. Because a lot of the politicians, that's what they're more focused on than anything, is they just want to be viewed as good people, yet they'll do horrible things to be viewed as good people, which is self-defeating in its purpose. It's just like having somebody in politics who is interested in the masses. It seems like those people get weeded out and literally bought out. So, I don't know. Jacob, I'm back. Had to leave for a bit. Well, I got a cat on my lap, and that ain't no lie. But I need a bong, and I need a dab, and I want to show you guys some more mushrooms. So, Jacob, hey, what type of wrapper do I like? So, I'd say right now, the wrapper I like the most would be Mendo Dope. Yeah, they're good. I like Mendo Dope. It's one guy raps and then his brother makes the music, and they're good. And they grow plants. They have a fucking YouTube channel. They're great guys. I would love to collaborate with them at some point if I ever got around. Nick, cat on the lap, the old chap. Yeah, he's a little grumpy right now, but he's got to go. He's got to move anyway, because he's making me really warm. But he looks so comfy and happy. Except he's all biting. There. Why don't you hang out right there? There we go. All right. So, Jacob, right on. So Mendo dope would be probably the biggest one. Yeah, rap's been kind of fucking. I like rap music, but it's just been bothering me recently. There hasn't been much good stuff that I like. Goes in and out. Yeah, let's go with that. Especially for this show, the people I would recommend the most would be Mendo dope. All right, let's look at some mushrooms because the light went off and I gotta let those little guys go to bed. Try Lord Goat. Never heard of him. I might check him out. I'm always up to suggestions, especially ones I haven't heard before because they probably aren't overly, popularized and too much. Yeah, things can get fucking fucked up there. I like cloud rap, funk, Memphis rap, vapor trap, etc. I'm broad on like the style I like, but like I said, as for what you got to say, and like this show, and they talk about smoking pot, so like I said, that'd be really good. Jacob, Lord Goat, Bus Driver, Aesop Rock, or Aesop Rock. Anyway, let's do shrooms now. Is that all one thing? Sounds cool. Let's look at shrooms now. How about that? Oh, let's take a look at the old shroomery. Now we don't want them out here for too long, but there's some shrooms we got popping up here, huh? So, some more pearl oyster mushrooms. They smell fishy. They smell slightly fishy, which is off-putting, especially because I love the smell of. So the mycelium, the white stuff that they're growing off of, smells slightly like almonds, but those. So this is a little tiny cake. I'm gonna have some big ass cakes. I'm gonna eat so many mushrooms, man. These oyster mushrooms are tasty as fuck. That is weird, and they kind of make the rim smell a little bit fishy. I don't know how I love that, but it tastes great. It's just a little funky to smell. Not my favorite smell. Bam. And we got some good looking clones over here. Everything's been going okay. So, but yeah, so the screams are going good. Everything's going good. I should grab the bong. What bong do we got? I guess I need a bong. Give me one moment here. Not enough bongs in the house. Whenever you need one, can't find one. All right. There we go. Get that bit more now. Dutchy packing. So those mushrooms, if you're asking if they're fun to grow, yes, they are. If they're fun to eat, yes, they are. But if you're asking if they make you trip balls, those ones do not. But you can grow the exact same way and produce yourself some very fun mushrooms, if that's what you're implying. Which I have grown some psychedelic mushrooms. I have grown some psychedelic mushrooms, but at the moment, Phoenix mushrooms. Totally edible, totally legal. I have grown, and on this show, I've shown my very fun mushrooms. Those ones are fun. The other ones were very fun. So I had a pretty big learning curve. I've never done only weed, Dutchie. Mushrooms are definitely, I would recommend, if you're ever going to do a hallucinogen, mushrooms are what I recommend. And do like maybe 2 grams dry. That's a good start. Maybe 3. And be in a really comfortable place. Probably even by yourself, especially if you live alone and not worried about people fucking with you. Be somewhere, that no one's going to, nothing, you won't have to do, And, yeah, I say have a really good movie or show that you absolutely love ready. Have some music that you absolutely love ready. And have a nice, comfortable place for you in case you want to turn all that shit off and you just need to be by yourself and focus on that shit. And it'll go great. Mushrooms are they're the one that has the longest test history in mankind for hallucinogens that we it's got to be up there. I don't know what else, besides marijuana. And even then, I think mushrooms were probably well formed. Mushrooms were the first organisms, mushrooms breaking down rocks is what helped the first plants grow, because they break down the rocks into soil, and they just break everything down. Without bugs and mushrooms, we'd be on a planet of corpses, which is pretty metal. Jacob, Lucy, toxic green, premature roll, hot box with a dab pen, click and go, pocket bag, screams across the room while the shatter is quiet. Read this while you're wrapping tasty color vibrators. Oh, I should be wrapping that. Wrapping tasty color vibrators is an interesting. Lucy toxic green, premature roll, hot box with the dab pen, click and go. Skunk pocket bag screams across the room while the shatter is quiet. Read this while you're wrapping tasty color vibrators. That's a hard one. All right, Dutchie has a smile. If it's not natural, I have no interest in doing. And there's weird things. People will argue that everything's natural. Everything's natural, man. We're natural. We made it. But synthetic drugs are bad. And even acid, I'd have to argue that it's a synthetic drug. And if you don't know who made it, not who you bought it from and how much you trust that dude and how he said it's awesome. I mean, if I had a professor, if I had Aldous Huxley or whatever his name is, I always mix him and the guy who wrote Brave New World up. The dude who invented the shit. If I had him making it, I'd consider doing acid, although I bet it'd be fucking intense. But just again, everything's natural. Everything isn't natural, but mushrooms, tried and true, you'll be fine. I have no problem telling people to take them. Almost every other drug in a different place, and I don't know if I would recommend it. It's mind-alteringly fucking weird and fucking out there. I couldn't take much back from that. Tripping mushrooms, I took a lot back. I'd see images. I don't know, man. When I was on acid, so like, let's say you're looking at something that's really pretty. This isn't really pretty, but see how it's spirally. It's something that you could like take. You could admire the symmetry of it and the color and look of it. Like on mushrooms, it might look really big or really immense or really perfect. You'll notice what parts are really shiny or cool looking, and like you're tripping out on it. On acid, to me, it felt like I was in a fucking wind tunnel, like at 100 miles an hour, fucking looking at those things. And as it's moving, it's changing the wind. Like it's like fucking shit's like on another fucking plane, and like I don't know, man. Like it's just intense. And I get the bug eye vision where, or the kaleidoscope eyes, as the Beatles so kindly put it, which is a very, very good way of putting it. It looks like you have two kaleidoscopes on both your eyes, and they're both, not perfect. So it's like, oh man, I don't know, man. It's fucking interesting. Mushrooms. I've gotten some. Trying to think. I don't know. I think I've had almost no real bad trip on mushrooms, except I throw up sometimes, and that's uncomfortable. You can't enjoy it when your stomach's flipping. But other than that, it's gone pretty good, which I'm trying to work on by taking microdosing small bits and then working my way up is something I want to start getting back into, or I would like to make it into a tincture or something to remove all the material from it and just get the psilocybin out or something. But that shit's fucking up my stomach. Jacob, what about salvia? All right, anyway. Nick, DMT is somewhat trustworthy if you know where it came from or if you make it yourself, which is the best way to do it. That's intense but short-lived. Yes, I've heard a lot about it. High doses of mushrooms are really cool, but be very prepared for them. Yes, all that very, very true. And DMT you produce naturally in your head, so I mean it is naturally occurring. But the cleanest way I know to make it, you still have to involve some paint thinners and some chemicals for extraction from the mimosa bark. Mimosa bark and is the main ingredient, and there's ways of making it. So I don't know. DMT has always piqued my interest too, except for that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about being like motion sickness. Is I want to enjoy it. It's kind of like driving really fast. I want to enjoy it, but if I'm not the one driving, which you're not the one driving if you're on tripping, you are the passenger, and you don't have controls, and you can't slow it down or speed it up. If you love fucking going fast and enjoying that shit, DMT seems like it's a fucking roller coaster ride through the universe to another universe, and then on a fucking, you go from the roller coaster ride to the fucking amusement park ride that spins you around in another universe, flips your fucking idea of everything, and then sends you shooting right back. I could see me not handling that as well. I don't even like to fly. I would love to go to outer space, but I don't think I could literally do it. I don't think a rocket ship and me would get along. So it's a little weird. Dutchy passion. Oh, yummy paint thinner. You use it to extract it, and the goal is to get all that out. But still, dude, I hate car rides. I get car sick so easily. So Dutchy, that's the one thing is it does remind me of going on a roller coaster ride or driving really fast or being in a plane or turbulence on a plane. That feeling where like you can get that feeling. And I think people who enjoy that feeling take it much better. But I physically get a little sick, which sucks. Jacob, back to salvia. Salvia it hits different people in different ways. Some people love it and trust it and can talk great about it. I always talk about my friend who smoked it at work. I had two friends. First off, cheers to marijuana. Stick with that and mushrooms is my personal opinion. If I can grow it in my house, I'll take it and I advise it and I'll give it away. So cheers, everybody. And hopefully I'll be buying no more butane here shortly. I'll be making my own dabs too. But Dutchy, don't let the paint thinner fool you. I mean, the goal is to get that out. But back to salvia. I had two friends. I was working with them. One guy was my friend. The other guy was somewhat my friend. work friend, kind of. And he would smoke that shit all day like a joint, like in a bowl. And he'd take huge rips and he'd just be like, and he didn't even smoke that much weed. This other guy who wasn't my close friend. And he's like, oh, here, took my friend out to go smoke some with it. And my friend is a power ripper. So he rips that shit a couple of times. And he tripped so hard, he's like, okay, I was looking at the store from the car that we were out on break on, and the dash and the ceiling and everything closed together and split into another fucking plane of reality and shit. He was gone. And then had to come back in and work his shift. It took him like half an hour. He went into the bathroom and got sick. Or like he just couldn't, he couldn't just go back to work. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to do that shit. So I don't know how I feel about salvia, but it's interesting. Dutchy, hell no, salvia looks scary as fuck. And I mean, he didn't smoke it ever again. He's like, dude, he was just telling me, he's like, I saw, from the top of my view to the bottom of my view, shunk into like one plane, a small line, just a line of light. And he's like, and then it just blasted. He's like, again, a blast off feeling where he's like, I went somewhere else. It felt like 2 hours. I came back in. It had only been about 20 minutes, but I was still late for my break. And then I had to go straight to the bathroom, and he was fucked. I could tell he was fucked. And I'm like, oh, great. Poor guy. Yeah, and what was weird was that other guy was smoking it like it was fine. And he didn't even smoke pot. He couldn't even hang with me and like smoke a joint. I remember this kid, I smoked a joint with him at work, or smoked some pot with him at work, and he came back in and he was so fucking stoned, and he was, I'm like, never again. I'm never getting you stoned again because you were fucking up everything. I don't mind getting people high. Some people work better high, but this kid was just fucking shit up. So I'm like, how he smoked salvia all the time? Maybe he was smoking salvia and I didn't know it, and I was getting him stoned, and that was too much. But anyway, Nick, high doses of mushrooms are really cool. Be very prepared for them. Wise words. Heroic doses, which is 5 grams of dried mushrooms and up, is kind of unexplainable for me. I do remember it being life-changing. Yeah, I only did that a couple of times, but I did it a few times maybe, and I was pretty young, and I didn't appreciate them for what they were, but they were pretty intense. I tripped balls not long ago on accident, pretty much. An unexpected trip off of almost nothing, which like a microdose made me trip balls, which was weird. Right after one of these shows, I was really stoned, did a microdose, and tripped balls. So it's a weird thing. It happens to the best of us. And Nick, it's like I became someone else and completely forgot my past life. My highest was 8 grams. Yeah. Well, throughout a day, me and my friend split an ounce, so 28 grams. But that's all day. We woke up, ate, tripped, would come down, trip more, come down, trip, ate a whole bunch of real food too. So we'd eat the mushrooms, we'd eat some real food, we'd trip all day, smoke weed, hang out. And I feel like I ate a little bit more than half of that bag than he did. He was a small dude. But so I feel like I maybe took 15 grams. But again, I didn't just eat 15 grams. I did it all day long. So I feel like I just feel like I tripped like at least 3 to 5 good trips separate all throughout the day. And I threw up a bunch that day, which sucked. By the end of the night, I can't hold my mushrooms down. It sucks. Last time I tripped, I was lucky to hold my mushrooms down. It just makes my stomach flip a little, unfortunately. That's you, poor guy, yeah. I can work stoned, which is good. At least I think so. Again, I had people who would get grumpy and shit. This is me too, especially if I have a job I hated and shit like that, which is most of them. Fortunately, right now I have a pretty decent job, as long as we're busy. But for the most part, I don't hate the work. I just hate the money I'm making at the moment. But for a lot of the time, I'd get pissed, or someone would get like grumpy and start being a dick. I'm like, okay, we're smoking, take a break and smoke a bowl. And sometimes I give them a bowl and like, smoke this, hit this, come back in. And dude, they'd be in a better mood. They'd be productive. They'd be fucking smiling. And I'd be like, okay, that's a lifesaver. And then, like I said, that one kid in particular, I smoked a bowl with him to try to do that same thing. He came back in and was so fucking useless, I wanted to send him home. And I said, never again. Not only that, never again, you can't smoke fucking weed on my fucking on my shift. Which is fucked up for a stoner to tell you not to smoke weed on my shift, even if everyone else can. But you're a fuck up, so I hated that. Kenzie, I'm stupid stoned. That's not a bad thing. I'm stone stupid. What? I'll spin the wheel. We'll smoke a bowl. Cheers, Kenzie. Good to see you. Gypsy, good to see you. I know a lot of people who've gone to work tripping, and that's what I can't do. I'm like, fuck that. I'm already uncomfortable, and I care about my job. I've been there too long to just, I don't have anything backed up. So tripping is way out of the question while working. But stoned, I used to until I started driving for a living, and then I figured that's probably not a good idea either. So that sucks too. And it saves me a lot of money not smoking while I'm at work all day. So. Plus, some asshole's gonna hit me. It'll be my fault because I'm smoking weed, so I just stay away from it. Jacob, I left my shatter in the freezer and it turned a buttery sugar straight. Is it still okay? The buttery sugar slate. I've never heard buttery as referred to it, but yes. So you'll see. You're talking about the difference between that and that. Can I pull up a slab of this? Yeah, this is how one's, and that one's like, you can't see through this one. What that is just temperature changes. Everything's still okay. Shatter just can't go to a super high temperature or super low temperature, and then you break it down. It starts to separate. I don't know. It's not my favorite. Like I said, my goal is to not buy any more shatter, to strictly go with rosin or distillate or other more water extracted dabbables is the best. Little harder to do, more expensive, but that's the best way. Buttery. I got you. Nick, I went to school on mushrooms once and had a friend who picked up every day to drive me to school in my car and from. I know a lot of people who did. My stepdad, what did he do? He took a test or something, tripping balls, and he's like, dude, I didn't study for that test. I went in there tripping, didn't care much about it, fucking aced it somehow. He's, zoned out. He's fucking aced it. And like, yeah, it's hard to get in trouble when you ace it, I guess. Gypsy, I smoked in the car with a friend at lunch one time, and I used to be a secretary. I couldn't stop cheesy grinning at everyone and giggling. Not a great idea. Like I said, now at my old job, I had to. I literally was going to get violently angry, like screaming at somebody and gonna like threaten to like fight my boss if I didn't smoke pot. And this was before fucking hash pen, so I would have to be like, I have to go smoke a cigarette. I have to smoke a cigarette, and I would go out and smoke pot, and like power rip a bowl, and then smoke a cigarette, because that's the only reason you could get to go outside. So I'm like, fuck, like I would do that a lot. I would smoke a lot of fucking cigarettes at that fucking job, and I really wish I had a hash pen. Kind of. That would have been very nice. Because nowadays you can get away with anything. You can smoke fucking a hash pen anywhere. Fucking, that's the way to do it. Nick, I love live resin vape pods. I mean, dude, it's fucking, you can smoke really good shit, get more stoned than I was off the, chronic I was smoking outside in a fucking pit in the cold. You could do it like in the walk-in, in the freezer or something, and you probably could get away with it. Definitely in the bathroom if you blew it up into the fucking, it's vape pen. And then spray some stuff and like, yeah, you're fine. And I'm like, dude, it just would have been so much better. Yeah. And even if I had a job where I had to be inside right now, I would do that. But again, I'm in my car. If I get stoned, I just start missing turns. And again, more than anything, I'm afraid that I also have a camera in my car at all times. So I'm like, I don't want it to be like, were these clouds of smoke and you coughing and that glass, and then you're dumping, I don't know, or someone saw you smoking, and I'm like, I don't want it to fuck me over, so I don't. Dutchie, I bike and vape, like a motorcycle or bicycle. You got one of them bicycles that doesn't know what he's interested in. Hey, kitty, what are you doing over there? A bicycle. He thinks about being a unicycle. He thinks about being one of those double bikes, tandem bikes. He doesn't know if he wants to be a unicycle or a tandem bike. He's a bicycle. All right. Jacob, I live in Indiana, and the only THC vapes you can get are bootleg bicycle. Okay. That's good. Good to know. Bicycle, which I used to bike to and from work every day, but now I drive for a living, so I can't ride my bike like I used to, which I was getting in really good shape from that. Jacob, I live in Indiana, and the only THC vapes you can get are bootleg full-gram carts that cost $35, and they're pretty much hot dog water. You got to be extra careful with that shit. I almost wouldn't recommend it. But I get why it's good. But, dude, I've heard so many people having bad shit added in there and fucking, I don't know, dude. I just be very, very careful. I hate that they even sell bootleg carts, dude. Cartridges it's just fucked up. Epic, Kenzie. I went in to pick up some bud, pineapple mayhem, and trim my dude's dog nails. Hey, I got a zip for of that and 3 950 milligram brownies. Was it in exchange? I guess I'm wondering, is it in exchange for for trimming? Because if so, you've got hella good deal. I have a dog that needs some nail trimming too, but I don't have quite that much. Jacob, I never get them. The $35 carts. Also, speaking of DMT earlier, I've been seeing them in cartridges a lot for like $30 to $80 a cartridge, and it looks like brown goop. I would highly recommend not to get that, no matter who's selling it to you. It just seems bad. Dutchie, vitamin E, acetate, probably vitamin E, acetate. Some weird fucking horrible additive. Is that what they were adding to those vapes that was getting people sick, right? I think I know what you're talking about. Jacob, sometimes I drive up to Michigan and spend like $150 on carts that only last me a week. Yeah, cartridges, you can burn through them, dude. I've done it. There's so many ups to it that I know why people buy illegal ones. One of my biggest videos is Meowawana. This one, I'm almost out of it, where I talk about the catnip that looks like pot. Most people are asking, how is it? How is it to smoke? Is it worth smoking? I don't have any legal pot in my state. Is this worth it? And I just have to be like, no, don't fucking smoke it, dude. But I get it. I know why, because it's illegal. Hopefully that federal law does pass, because it's about time. Everywhere needs to be illegal. And I'd like to be able to, when we can travel again, I'd like to be able to travel around and not worry about crossing state lines and be like, illegal, legal, illegal. And I'm like, dude, fuck this. Kenzie, no, I paid $4.20 for the ounce and 2 brownies, but he gave me a free 3rd brownie because it's my birthday next Sunday. Hey, that works. I was wondering about that trimming. I'm like, if so, dude, I'd be trimming fucking nails up for fucking. I'll learn how to trim some fucking nails. No, but that's sweet of you to do for his dog. I really wish you could trim our dog's nails. I'm too shy to do it and help. I don't even like helping. She's such a sensitive dog that I can't hold her down. I can't stop her. She just like punches me in the face with her love and sticks her tongue up my nose, and I just love that dog so much. I just have a hard problem telling her to stop it. All right. Nick, my favorite moment while stoned was when me and my friends went downtown eating 500 milligram gummy edibles that my plug made. There was I was there when he made them, which is nice. Yeah, that'll fucking put a world of hurt on you. Yeah, I've eaten 5 mil is pretty high too. Dutchy, yeah, my cats love it. That meowawana, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm guessing. I live in a state where I got weeds, where they got weed stores on every corner. Me too. Fortunately, which is nice. It's not great weed, in my opinion, but whatever. Jacob, we all need vitamin D, and we are all lacking. You just don't know it yet. The government is getting ready to lock us down again for the first steps of the apocalypse. My bad. We don't need to go down this road. Hey, Armageddon it on. I don't know. Wandering Fire was up. It's smoking on some Afghani hash. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. I'm about to spin the wheel and smoke on some distillate because that sounds like the best hash I have for the most part that I want to smoke right now. But yes. All right. Dutchy, yeah, but don't vape it, bro. Yeah, but don't vape it, bro. Dutchy, I won't. I've been hearing bad things about vaping, which I've always thought, but Kenzie, nah, he gives me a few gram sample snacks for the nail trimming usually. That's kind of cool though. At least gives you something. Oh, and we got the boomstick. That's a herder. That one always gets me. That's the new 6-footer equivalent. Wandering was up. Nick, I went to this upscale mall and I made some regrettable purchases, but I luckily returned some of them the next day. Yeah, some of those things can happen when you're stoned out of your mind. Nick, Neiman Marcus more like needless markup. More like needless markup. Yeah, I feel ya. I've never been there, but sure. I haven't been to the mall in a long time. Jacob, it's alien shit. If anyone thinks all this technology was made by people on Earth, you're crazy. Well, I'll say this about that. One of the most brilliant people ever that I know of was Nikola Tesla, and he was pretty fucking out there and talked to like interdimensional, like talked to a pigeon, but like would look in its eyes, and it was like an interdimensional fucking space pigeon being on some of his fucking diary shit. He's in love with that thing because it's not a bird, it's something else. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying they came down here and left you all the pieces, but that's a little out there. I'll give you that. It's interesting. Wandering Fire got way too stoned. What's your experience on being too high? What do you do to calm yourself down? So I recently read that Willie Nelson says his cure, and a lot of people have been doing it, is pepper. You get peppercorns and you chew them up. Something about that, I forget what the chemical thing was, but they were breaking it down where it's supposed to do well. So if you have peppercorns on you can chew peppercorns, or I don't think it just works with like putting pepper in your mouth. They were saying something about chewing a certain type of peppercorn will make you, I don't know if it makes you less high, but it brings down your anxiety. So that's something interesting to look at. My big one has always actually, oddly enough, been like usually an ice cream. Being somewhere comfortable is where you should start. But if you're having it like something sweet, sometimes a really sweet drink, that sugar, the sweetness, your flight or fight responses are going really hard when you're anxious. And by ingesting and drinking and eating something and breathing slowly, making sure you breathe, you're fighting those responses, because you don't do those things if you're hiding or fighting or whatever. So by drinking something and tasting something good, you're saying, okay, we're okay. We're going to drink this. We're going to calm down. We're going to do this. That's a big one. Try the peppercorn thing too. I've heard good things. Let me know what you think. Nick, when you say this about that, when you say, Oh, yeah, I like chewing the stems of weed. Tastes nice. Stems can be interesting, but eating pot can be fucking unpleasant. I'll tell you that, Nick. It's like eating a. I don't know. It was weird. Jacob, he was half lizard. Who was half lizard? What did I miss here? I missed something. Uh, oh, the alien shit technology. He was half lizard. Oh, who do you call it? Tesla. Tesla was half lizard. Yeah, he was something else, huh? Danix, ate 250 milligrams an hour ago and nothing yet. 250 milligrams is it's getting up there though. Um, I used to have my thing was I, I didn't do edibles a lot. I feel like I have a really slow metabolism, so it just burns very slowly, and I don't quite feel like anything else. It's just weird. Jacob, CBD calms you down. Yep, CBD is a good way to calm you down. I know if you're by yourself, I used to splash water on my face. I know that's kind of old school, but it does kind of make you feel better. If you're really flipping out, you can like sometimes like take a shower, take a bath. That'll make me feel better too. Used to. Uh, Fortunately, I don't have any anxiety problems at the moment. Also, building up a tolerance is a huge thing. You know, if you are too high, accept that you're too high. But next time you can build up your tolerance, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because I enjoy smoking and I like to smoke more without being anxious, smoking as much as I'd like without having that feeling. It's a bad thing because you have to smoke more. Wandering fire, it's probably to get yourself distracted. Drinking something or eating something, that's a big part of it. I like chewing stems with weed, tastes nice. Yes, I do too, Nick. Jacob, CBD bonds are THC receptors and basically bumps up the THC bond out and bonds itself. Dutchy Packet, Delta 8. Uh, I don't know much about Delta 8, although I've been hearing a lot about it, people talking about it. But it seems awesome. Uh, yeah, I have to look more into it a little bit. And yeah, I need my medical card. And I've had a lot of things in the work forever. It's just all money. Jacob, I always dab CBD after THC to keep me from getting too high and having panic attacks. Jacob Mitchell, Tesla. Yes, I did get you there. It took a second. Yes, I could see him being half reptilian or some shit. Mystic, hey, it sucks here because we can only get weed illegally. I like weed. That I like weed too, and it does suck that you have to get it illegally. But there was good ups and downs to that. The best thing you can do is grow it yourself. If you're gonna buy it yourself illegally, just grow it yourself. It's worth it. And they don't care anymore. Just grow it. You can start growing for a couple $100 if you want a nice little grow tent. I'm thinking about getting a second one, and from start to finish, maybe $500, and that's a sick little setup. I'll show you how I do it. If I do decide to do it, I'll show you how. I'll show you the whole setup and how cheap. Just another little setup for me. I have another one that's going pretty good. I have all these clones. And I need a second room now because also I smoke too much pot. Wandering Fire. I smoke the tiniest amount and still freak out. Dank Kush. And that's it. I did too. I had this moment, but you know what? A lot of that came back to what we were talking about earlier is I'm just kind of, I feel like I'm a little bit empathetic and I had somebody around me who was very anxious and that anxiety was rubbing off on me. Uh, their anxiety was making me anxious and also a big part of it too is what you're smoking. Just be careful what you're smoking. Make sure you know what it is. I think the shit I'm smoking is not that great, and I can guarantee it's from a fucking company and this and that, and from a fucking dispensary, and it's not any better, and I don't trust it anymore. Grow it yourself, or get somebody to grow. Uh, all right, hold on. Dutchy Passion. It's super easy. Growing mushrooms is almost easier than growing pot, so think about that too, because they're fun. And I mean any type of mushroom. Okay, Mystic. To grow weed, don't I need a humid room or a hot room? You can grow pot at whatever your comfortable temperature is. I have a very temperature-controlled room in a grow tent, but you don't have to do it that way. Humidity should be around 50%. Is a solid all the time. You're never going to go wrong with, although you should have it varying. Heat, about 75 degrees is good standard too. Nick, let's say you're at the Grand Canyon. Delta 9 is the friend who spooks you and acts like he's going to push you over. Delta 8 sits you down and makes you a nice sandwich for a picnic, which I've been stoned at the Grand Canyon, and it looks like a fucking painting. It looks flat, two-dimensional. It's so big that it becomes flat. I don't know, and I was really stoned. Nick, you're much more grounded on Delta 8. And those are all very good things. My local dispensary provides test results of all its products, and so does mine, but I'll tell you what, stuff sucks. I need to do more stuff. I've been kind of getting it from somebody else anyway. So, Jacob, I use herbal vaporizer. A herbal vaporizer. Have you tried those? I'm sure you got one in that wonderful weed world. Wonderful land. Wait. That weed wonderful of a room you're in. Yes, I do have one, and I do enjoy smoking out of it. I want to start smoking out of it more. It plugs in, and I don't have a lot of plugins available in this room. They're a little maxed out. I might start bringing it out there and smoking out of it more because it is enjoyable. And I've had it where vaping it has got me super fucked up. Because when you first smoke it, you're not getting big clouds of smoke. So you're like, is this working? And then I'd smoke like 5 bowls, and like after a while I'd be like, whoa, I am fucked up. Yes, this is working. So they are fun. They're good. I like them. Jacob, good call. How do you get those seeds to grow shrooms? So shrooms are actually spores, which are similar to seeds, but they're not. They're microscopic spores. And you can get the spores for... I go to a website called Spore Works. As long as you don't live in California or New York, I think are the 2 places where they're not legal to get them. So, I gotta load this fucking beast. I gotta load the beast, guys. Jesus, I'm slacking. All right. And they're totally legal to buy online. So Spore Works is what you want to go to. For a new grow, I would recommend growing Phoenix oyster mushrooms or pearl oyster mushrooms or B+ mushrooms. The B+ ones are probably what you're thinking of. From somebody who's done a bit of experience now, I can safely recommend those as the easiest to grow. Those oyster mushrooms and B+ mushrooms are the easiest to grow. So if you're just starting out, regardless of the fact that Phoenix oyster mushrooms are delicious, and B+ strain mushrooms are one of the most, the highest flush you can get, like the highest yielding that you can get. They're very productive in that sense. I would recommend both of those. So Spore Works, give them a check. All right, Mystic. I look up to you. One day I want to have a whole arsenal of weed. Mystic, that THC codeine syrup is all right. I've thought about trying that. 1,000 milligram bottles. I mix them with soft drink. Yes, I've thought about that myself. I thought that was cool, especially because everyone's into the lean and shit or what. I mean, that's still a big thing. And I'm like, I like that they're trying to make something that's putting that lifestyle, or if it's subverting it into something safer, which I like to think it is. But I'm very interested in trying it and making my purple drink without using opiates, which are a fucking epidemic. They really are. As someone who's lost people, who lost my father to opiates, so I highly don't recommend them. Brain venom, says Nick. I wish I could. If I'm hurting my own, you gotta suffer too. You're much more grounded on Delta 8, by the way. Yes, I'm just sure. Jacob, I use an herbal vaporizer. Have you tried those? Oh, yeah. I went up a little bit, huh? I get so high on the vaporizer. Yeah, dude, I really do. Say that again, sorry. Okay, gotcha. Okay, good. Because I lost myself. Let's see here. Mystic, are my cats all right? My cat is all right. I have 5 now. One cat right there, sleeping. He always sleeps on the chair next to me when I do my show anymore. The other kitties, I can't see her. And then the other 2 cats are still separated in the other room. Other 3 cats are separated in the other room, and the dog right now. Because it's just it's been a getting, acquainting. Acquainting them has been a little rough so far, but they're doing good. Thank you for asking. Cats are well. Nick, I had CBD lean. I still have CBD lean. Like I said, I wouldn't mind trying the CBD stuff. Like I said, lean, quote unquote, seems. Like I said, I don't know if it's a good thing in the fact that it's like promoting the style, or if it's kind of taking away from it because it's not opium. You know what I mean? So, or not opium, opiinated. It's not a goddamn. Doesn't have codeine in it. Brain's fucked. All right. Mystic, lean is bad. It kills your organs, but THC is good. Yes. Yeah. I really highly. It kills your organs and just kills you. Just kills you. The addiction of it kills you. It starts off with one thing and then it just always shifts over, which I didn't even think that would happen to people until I've lost multiple people in my life to it. I'm like, wow, that very, very well happens. I had a friend who killed himself, but I mean, his heroin addiction that started off with pills and lean and moved to heroin because it's the same shit. It's the same high, just a different way to attain it and cheaper. It's a bad cycle, dude. I highly recommend it against it. So yes, Nick, it's nice mixed with Sprite and cranberry. Now with Sprite cranberry, you're talking about the CBD stuff, and yes, I do want to try that. I'm still interested in trying that. I'm listening to some down south gangster rap and drinking my lean. Sounds fun. Mixing it up with some Fago. Yep. Have my get my juggling on. That's how it goes. James, what's your opinion on Turk Slurper? Personally, I love mine. So I did a review on my Turk Slurper. I think I broke it in my review. Just stone, and it was a defective one. It was a cheap knockoff. But they're good. I like them. I think I still have one somewhere. I might have one somewhere. If I find one, I'll do Turkers. I'll slurp some Turks. They're okay. I do have a review of my Turk Slurper on this channel. If you look at my old videos, I would like to try another one, and they're okay. Wait, I think my Turk Slurper was fine. I like that one. It was my Diamond Knot. One of those ones. You'd have to look at them. But I do like them. Right? I just don't tend to use them too much. I'm using the old core reactor at the moment, which is okay as well. I don't have any super nice nails at the moment, bangers or whatever. Mystic, heroin took over New Orleans. RIP, RIP, no shit. It has for a long time. Like all the bands I like from New Orleans are all heroin addicts. Pantera was on heroin, Acid Bath was on heroin, fucking I Hate God was on heroin. All those bands from down south. Sounds like Crowbar, everyone. Seems like it did take over that area. All right, Nick, CBD lean. Best experience while cruising through town on a lowrider and with 90s and early 2000s and chopping screw. Okay, Nick, I can agree with you a lot on that one. the chopped and screwed music while drinking CBD lean. Because, like I said, they talk about drinking lean all the time. It's just I'd listen to all my lean songs and not feel so guilty about them. Not that I have a lot, but yeah, I haven't heard a lot of chopped and screwed music in a long time. It's funny. All right. It's only good when you're really fucked up. It only makes sense. I told somebody, I had a girlfriend who was like, why are you listening to this? I'm like, if you're not completely blasted, this isn't good. I agree with that. I mean, it's okay because when you're thinking about the times where you were extremely blasted, but for the most part, it is there's a lot of music that maybe right time and place. Dutchy, you playing Cyberpunk. And then Mystic 2077, Dutchy 2099. Ah, you playing Cyberpunk? Oh, I can't tell what's going on there. Dutchy 4 days. I'm out of the loop on that one, guys. Sam, all of Cash Money was on heroin. Cash Money, yeah. Dude, there's so many people. And now it's even bigger because everyone's on pills and lean and shit. So every rapper you hear rap about that is on a form of, it's an opiate or whatever. An opiate. Because it all comes from opium, heroin, morphine, lean, painkillers, all that shit is all connected. That's why I saw people go from one to the other, and they went from like fucking taking Vicodin to fucking smoking heroin off of foil to God knows they were probably injecting it, and then they fucking died. So chemicals kill, plants heal. So cheers, everybody. Cannabis hills, chemicals kill. God damn. Oh. Oh! The boomstick kills too, though. Woo! You gotta watch out for that. This is my boomstick. Oh! Woo! Mystic, they say weed is gateway drug, but I don't really see weed as a drug. I see it as a friend that never lets you down. Like a cool, crisp morning. A nice dude. No. It never lets you down. And I smoked for a long, and I've never had the crave for hardcore pills or anything. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Well, I used to say there was some validity in that, in the sense that when you make it illegal, the people who are supplying it usually are out to make an extra buck and will supply you with other drugs. So you could say it's a gateway drug in the sense that it introduces you to buying things that are illegal. But when it's legal, dude, it is not a gateway drug. Doing it doesn't make you want to do other drugs. But sometimes accessing the people who can get you pot also is accessing what can get you other drugs. So I'll give them that. But choosing to do them is still on everybody else's, is on your own conscience. Woo! Woo! Oh, Nick, damn, I just missed the hit. Well, don't worry, there's a couple more like this guy. Woo! This fucking thing kills. Ah. But cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another Shatterdaze. Blazing. Double ripping it. We're smoking bowls. Doing dabs. Hanging out with cats. It's all good. Nick. Yeah, kind of funny because it's been more demonstratable that nicotine and alcohol are more likely to put you on other substances, I'm guessing, than marijuana, you're saying. I mean, they're as likely. Their addiction is a lot more similar. Woo! Mystic. I had a friend who got shot over a gram. People here are playing 420 Battle Royale. That's just wrong. That's time and place. And that's why at the end of the day, you just got to grow it yourself. Everybody who can grow it yourself, you have to. If it's illegal or not. I'll tell you what, with, even with the cops fucking you up and fucking your whole life over, it's better than getting shot and killed over a gram. Although the SWAT teams might do that to you. But they also might have to pay your family some money. So at least there's a chance of repercussion. At the end of the day, you are your own best fucking source for everything, you know? Even when you go for information, you're the person who has to seek it and absorb it. So, you know, you are your best friend when it comes to these things. I think that a lot of the drug problem is education. You know, you need to be, you need to open, expand your mind with education before you open your mind and expand it with drugs. I do believe that that's slightly important because, come here, dude. I don't know. I think if with a good education, you realize that you might have potential to do something or to learn more things. You know, you go through these certain plateaus. You learn enough, and you get depressed because you're like, oh God, there's so much bad shit to learn. But then you go through a plateau of, well, there's more to learn and there's more to absorb. And I don't know. I go through plateaus of positivity and negativity based on what I've accumulated in the knowledge. You know what I mean? Like I said, sometimes you learn a little bit and you're like, oh, this world's so fucked up. And then you learn a little bit more and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. And then you learn a little bit more and you realize it doesn't matter. But it is fucked up. You know? I don't know. You go through different things. Again, education keeps you, I think, in the ball game. And a lack of education mixed with an addiction takes you right out of it. So, mystic. People who always look at the negatives of weed, but it's actually healthy. So I'll give them certain things. I would not hand that to a person with health problems. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, oh, you got cancer? Strap in. You know? But edibles, tinctures, there's always different ways. I was just talking about this not long ago when I was talking about how much it sucks to eat pot. I don't know if you've ever grown really big, beautiful nugs of crystally chronic, and you're like, God, it smells so good. I just want to bite it and eat it. So I did, and I have. And it's so those THC crystals have been argued that they're on there as a defense mechanism for getting animals to not want to eat it, right? Only certain animals do eat it. A lot don't because and I always said, well, that's bullshit. It's not just a defense mechanism, and I don't think it is just a defense mechanism. But those trichomes, those fucking crystals, they are not pleasant to chew up and fucking eat. It's like small cactus. It's far too green. You can't get it out of your teeth and tongue, and it's pokey and spiky, but it's unpleasant as fuck to eat. So I can believe some validity to them saying that is grown on, the plant is producing that as a don't fucking eat me, which is weird because it's full of seeds and you think it'd want to be eaten. It's selective because deer and shit will eat it, and I don't know, but don't eat. No matter how beautiful a nug of chronic looks, I kind of recommend you don't eat it. Or if you do, take a very, very, very small bit. Because I wanted to like make a salad out of it. You can still do it with the fan leaves, cut off the stems, and you can even saute the leaves in some fucking can of butter. And I'll make you some great green, slightly sauteed, cooked salad. But as soon as you start flowering the buds and they're just covered in THC crystals, if you don't cook them, they're fucked. hot. But you can still cook them lightly, especially if you're doing it for flavor and not to get high off of them. But who wants to do that? Nick, it's almost midnight here. I should be going. Have some fun stuff in the store for tomorrow. Hell yeah, I got work all day. So glad you're having fun. Nick, while THC and has anti-inflammatory properties, regular usage can sometimes lower white blood cell levels. Again, smoking is bad. Okay, it's not exactly good for you. It's just Mystic. It's 11:45, so yeah. For me, it's 9:46. So, but I am in Denver, the center of the world, and therefore the universe. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be calling it sometime. I don't know. It's no big deal. I got work tomorrow, and I'm not stoked about it. Nick, I prefer edibles, resin, and joints. I like rosin, a little bit more in resin, but joints are probably my favorite way to smoke. I don't have much pot tonight or hash. That's why it's time to spin the wheel of dabs again, probably. Although I'm gonna finish this bowl here. There's that carb cap. Carbidium. Put that there. This here. Have a good night, everyone. Keep it keefy. You do the same, buddy. I will see you next week. I'll be here. I'm trying to get on a little earlier, but okay, I'll stay for the last dab. I'm gonna spin it right now after this one hit. Cash this out. Yeah, that's definitely cashed. All right, so let's spin that wheel of dabs. The dab from that wheel, huh, Ziggy? Hopefully it's something on the table. Nick, you convinced me. No problem, man. Mystic, a good joint and nice car ride. A good joint, I'm guessing, and nice car ride is a good way to spend Saturday. No joke. Free choice. So I can pick whatever I want. Nick, Ziggy's probably lit. Oh, he's been sleeping here. He's good. It's good in the light like this. Looked like he burned his nose the other day. I swear this cat goes straight up to the fucking stove and just... He's insane. His whiskers are all burnt. I'm like, God, cat, why are you trying to set yourself on fire? He jumps right into the fucking torch if he can, and he just has no... He's a special kitty is what he is. And he's my best friend. So, yep. Even though he's a fucking rambunctious little bastard sometimes too, and he likes to bite me. But yeah, Mystic, good night, man. Be safe. This crazy empty world of crazy people. Wait, be safe in this crazy empty world of crazy people and a destroyed society. Yeah, we can't destroy something that was never too great, but you know, it's like a rickety shaft. Shaft. It's rickety, is what it is. It's holding together. You be good too, man. Have a great night, everybody. Say good night to Mystic. Say good night, buddy. Good night, buddy. All right. Let's free choice. So what are we dabbing out? What are we gonna dab out of? We're gonna go with something easy on the throat. We'll go with this one. If I can find the goddamn balls. Where's the thing? Diggy. Diggy said the boogie. Oh, here we are. Up jumped the boogie. There we are. All right. So, Free choice. I pick this funky little guy because he's funky. Oh, and there's a Jiggy here, so we got to pick something within arm's reach. Hopefully everyone's still doing good. It is getting late. Nick, the rig that has his main nipples is harem-style hentai. Yeah, it does have a lot of nipples. Never counted them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 25 nipples. So I feel like someone's missing a nipple, but I feel you. It is a little funky looking, I'm not gonna lie, but it's actually it rips, and it's surprisingly smooth to smoke at. So, but yes, it is covered in nipples. All right. If anybody can do some dabs with me, please do, so I'm not dying by myself. But a bowl will do as well, or a joint, or a cartridge, or a vape. Whatever you do is fine. Edibles. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I know, like I said, things have been okay. I'm very happy with how the plants have gone. Everything's gone good. So here is to a happy harvest to everybody who's growing anything, whether that be tomatoes, although it's not that time of year, so I don't know why you'd be doing that, at least around here. But whatever you've been growing, which for me is all indoor, happy harvest to you. The only reason I use Delta 8 cartridges, since I can get them at a trusted dispensary. THC is still illegal. Okay. Holy crap. Okay. So, yeah, you can bite me. The pad on his paw is cracked in half and fucking all fucked up. So, he was in the hospital not long ago with a foot problem, but I looked at all his little pads and everything. But maybe he was showing underlying problems and I just now noticed. Sorry. Poor little guy. Had me concerned. I forgot, fuck the dab rig. Poor little guy. Is your foot okay? Oh, I'm sorry. You had a burned nose. Still just healing. Oh, that's no good. Huh. No wonder he was limping around. I didn't notice that. Ziggy needs some lotion on those pads, or what is it? Something safe, some type of balm or something, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I totally lost what I was doing. His little pad, it's not terrible, but it's cracked in half. It's like it's all fucked up. All right. And Nick, it doesn't stop the gravy train from rolling. Yeah. If anything, making it legal can kind of take it out of the hands of some of the people who love it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of growers really love it and really care about it. The better your pot is means the more someone cared about it. Just making sure you're okay. Poor guy. I hope he's okay. I'm sorry your foot's messed up. It's okay if you bite me and you're mad. It's okay if you bite me and you're mad. Ah. All right, that shows a good sign of character that you stopped everything for the kitty. Yeah, I just noticed it. I'm like, his pad's fucked up. I thought it was something I could pull off, but it's too much of his pads on his foot. And he doesn't like that. It's not the toe. One of his toes has an ingrown toenail, and it curls in so bad that it's fucked up, and I figured that's what was hurting him. But this is the toe next to it, so it'd be his farthest toe. The top of it's like fucking cracked in half. Poor guy. He's been doing really good on walking and getting around. Before he was so bad, I came home and I took him right to the vet, and he healed up pretty good. The biggest thing they did was cut off that ingrown toenail, but now it's kind of concerning. Oh, Lonock. It's the mighty Lonock here. Yes. Hey, it's the mighty Lonock. Just got home, about to smoke a bowl and say hi. Cheers, everybody. I'm about to smoke a mighty bowl for the mighty Lonock. And Nick, thank you. It is reassuring. I hope he's okay. Here's to Ziggy. Everybody loves Ziggy. And Ziggy loves everybody. He really does. So, here's to everybody. But mostly Ziggy. Whoa! Sam, Google says I can't talk. Google says you can use olive, coconut, or fish oil, but you should probably use RSO. I have some coconut oil and some not fish oil. I have coconut oil and some olive oil. I'll have to. Although it doesn't look dry, it looks like cracked, like it got, I don't know, I have to look at more, but he was biting me. Although in this light, it's really bright in here, it was good to see it. Oh, I love him, but he fucking, puts my fucking legs to sleep when he sits on me. And I don't have my little chair pillar. Oh, that's a little better too. Woo! Cheers, everybody. Nick, you're going to bed, having a good night. Well, thank you so much. Let's see here. I had an option, but oh well. Anyway, you have an awesome night, man. You have a good night. I'll see you next week. One of these days, I'm gonna work a little bit less. It's getting closer. We'll work a little bit less, do the show a lot more, and yeah, it's gonna be great. So we'll hang out more, and I'll be able to hang out with everybody a lot more and do collaborations, and we'll do fun stuff because that's what it's all about. Till then, it's always great hanging out. Have a good night, buddy. All right. We are going to get some water and smoke a bowl. I'll be right back. All right, the mighty Lonock smoking on some white runts by a gas house. It's really good. Got a lot of trichomes, and it's very pungent and crisp, citrusy. Excuse me. And Sam says Candy Rain live resins here. That live res can be really good and tasty too. I am smoking on some crappy shatter, some terrible shatter, and some mediocre distillate. Unfortunately, this evening. It is what it is. That's the truth. They all have nice names, but unless it's really good, that's when I write down like, okay, that's how bad the place I've been going to is, but it's cheap and it's close. So, and it's not really so much my choice as much as I would like it to be. So, unless it's really good, I don't even take note note of it. I'm growing a whole bunch of green crack right now, which I do have to check on those this evening. So maybe have to call it here in a while. It's 10 o'clock here. It's probably 12 o'clock in some places and 8 o'clock in others, and I don't know, weird times all over the world, right? But I'm not quite ready yet. I'm just not ready. It's my last day off until another work week, which this last work week felt like a long fucking time. I hate working as much as I do and making as little as I do, so I love hanging out and smoking weed when I can. This is something I look forward to every week, so thanks for joining me for another one. Bonock, it's 12 a.m. here. See, it's late, but you know what? One cool thing about smoking here when you're at my place is as soon as you turn it off, you're home. You don't have to drive. You don't have to do much. Like, how many times have you been at somebody's house smoking a shit ton of weed, talking, chilling, and then you have to fucking drive home? And it's like, fuck, do I hit the Taco Bell and just destroy my fucking stomach on the way? Or do I actually get home and then you gotta fucking... So you have to add in all this time. So it's nice. It's nice. Mystic, the thing is, working in America is slavery, but it's better than working for free. It just kills your vibe and makes you so weak. Are you saying I'm weak, bro? No, you're probably right. I feel pretty weak. Spirit to fucking want to do things for yourself when you don't have any time to do. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my hair here. There we go. Yeah, it's a little rough. Right now, my goal is you know, just because he finds it makes you so weak. Green crack is Sam. No offense. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. It kills everybody's vibe, and not even in a bad way. Like, people who excel in America are people with a strong vibe to make money. Make that money. Make fucking cash. Everything's, when you monetize every part of your life, you can actually make it. And when you hoard it to yourself, you can keep it. And when you invest it with shady people who take advantage of other people to take more, it snowballs into this weird thing. My way of thinking is just the world was it global poverty is rated at anybody who survives on less than $2 a day. Then you're like, that's extreme poverty throughout the world. And when I heard that, I'm like, $2 American a day. And that was from a study that was about fucking 4 or 5 years ago. And they're like, the whatever global organization that keeps, that's what they consider extreme poverty, is people who live on less than $2 a day globally. That's why they're like, and then they said worldwide, I forget what it is, some crazy 80% of the world is living under that. Only certain parts or some shit like that. I'm like, holy shit. Regardless of that, I'm like, bringing down my cost of living is very possible. Key to making it in this country is turning everybody's comforts into necessities. So because I feel like I need to have the internet and I need to be able to do this to have this show, but I could live without it. But I enjoy doing this, so it's hard to live without it. Mystic, I'm poor. I literally have like $5 to my name. I'm unemployed because because I was a few minutes late. I had a doctor checkup. um, yeah, like I said, I'm I'm have been scraping by, especially this last year, uh, where I have enough money to pay my bills, and I'm working. I'm not complaining in that sense, but the only way to keep myself motivated enough to try and do things to, again, I feel like I have two options. I can either try and make more money so I can enjoy the things I want to do, but then I lose time. But my goal is to live in a way that costs less. So and by cutting out my cost, I cut out my waste too, because my goal is to grow my own food as much as possible. To just be a lot more aware of what I consume and how I consume it, and limit that in a lot of different ways. Go into renewable sources as much as possible. You know what I mean? Try and do shit like that. My goal is to cut down my cost of living rather than increase my fucking income. It'd be nice to do both, but it's a long-term goal. But eventually, I would like to just, like I said, I'm growing my own pot. I'm growing a lot of my own food. My goal is to be able to do that on a large scale, and then see how much I can cut everything else back. I fortunately own my car now. I own where I live, and just going from there. Mystic, I try even though I know I'm a fail. Hey, it's better than failing even though you know you're gonna try. Low knock. Money ain't shit. It's all about having a positive attitude. No shit. I learned the hard way. Be happy and be yourself, man. I mean, I've definitely been around people who were some extremely depressed, fucked up. They would say I'm fucked up. People who were very financially well off. So money, I mean, if money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you security, which if security is your biggest problem, then yes. But with that security come paranoia. You find it seems like wealth is good to a hit. It's that old saying where too much of anything is bad. It sure seems to at least make the people who acquire it start to seem less and less like good people. But I don't know. And it looks like they aren't exactly happy, like you said, Lona. Fucking, it doesn't buy happiness and it doesn't make you happy. Uh, it's kind of like I feel like drugs are the same way, where they don't make you happy or make you unhappy. They can enhance your happiness if you're having a good time, and they can make you feel a lot worse if you're not. Uh, if you have enough money to do horrible things, maybe money is not a great thing for everybody. You know what I mean? I don't know. There we go. Get that crap out of there. All right. I finally have been able to buy some small things of rubbing alcohol so I can start cleaning my bongs again, maybe. The problem is I use a lot of it for mushroom growing, but I use that out of a spray bottle. I just spray rubbing alcohol to sterilize things, all of which I will be putting in a future video on how to grow mushrooms yourself at home, easily, with cats. And now a dog. So it'll be going good. All right. Lona, I work customer service, so I have no choice but to be nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little rough. I'm not great at customer service. So one good thing about what I do is, first off, I should be no contact because I do deliveries, but it's not no contact. But most people are in a pretty good mood when they receive what they ordered. You know what I mean? So it's not that bad. Sam, mo money, mo problems. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know. If security is your biggest problem, then you can buy security with money, and that can be happiness for you. At least it's hard to be happy if you're not in a secure place. But true happiness eventually will not be from the money you had. It was from the money that you spent to give your place, a roof over your head or yada yada or help out. So it's weird. Mystic, money can't really buy happiness. It just makes you feel secure. Just what I was saying. Well, and money, it's kind of like saying any drug again will make you happy. Money is a drug. Money is the ultimate drug. It's the biggest drug you'll ever come into contact with, and everybody in America is hooked on it. The world is pretty hooked on it. So, I mean, the people who aren't hooked on this drug are considered insane, backwoods, third world, fucking, jungle people, fucking savages, tribal, fucking, tribal bands that have little to nothing to do with the real world and only wish they could come into contact with something as great as capitalism and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a fucking drug. It's the ultimate drug. It's the drug that if you have enough of it, it turns into anything you want. You want it to turn into heroin? Buy heroin. You want it to turn into fucking, if you have enough of it, you want it to turn into a fucking yacht? You need a lot of it, but that drug will turn into a yacht right before your very eyes. You have to give some up, just like doing all drugs. You have to burn it. But as soon as you burn some of that money, you'll reap its rewards. It's like having a fucking magic genie in this fucking country. That's why people, when they have a genie, wish they had money. I'd wish that money wasn't a fucking system that we had to fucking rely on, because we need to get past that to start working on something better. Don't get me wrong, we've used it as a way to pool collectively our money into one place so we could spend it on bigger things. But at some point, I don't know, man. At the same time, life's short, and I don't see any of these huge changes happening overnight. So I'm not. I'll take it for what it is. And if you got any money, I'll sell you something. See, I don't know, man. It gets a little deep. I wish I had more. All right, Mystic. I wish we had a more fair society. People have gotten more stubborn and more selfish, and less sympathetic and more sinister. Not all, but the vast majority. Yeah, I always joke with that with my girlfriend. I'm always like, I'm not. She's like, you're a good guy, and she's very sweet, and we'll say, oh, you're sweet, sweetest guy. I'm like, I'm not that sweet. I'm just a fucking. Just by comparison, everyone's such a fucking asshole. All I have to do is just fucking, not be a complete piece of shit, and I'm pretty nice by comparison. But it's a joke, and she says that's not true, and I feel like. Again, not everyone's an asshole. What I've noticed is the classic thing where one-on-one, I get along with a lot of people. Almost everybody of every political, religious, anything that they follow or believe in, I usually get along with them quite well, even with how I look, and they're always usually pretty nice to me. And I'm usually very nice to them. I'm cordial, and shit goes well. But large groups of people tend to be where decisions are made that I find inexcusable just because you're in a crowd. I didn't do that. We did that. I'm like, well, you chose to be a part of something that's fucked up. You still have to be accountable for what you affiliate yourself with. In fact, just as much as your own actions. You can't blame it all on the captain. You are just as responsible for the people you affiliate yourself with as they are, for the most part, especially if you're representing those people, giving them money or somehow or another or whatever. Sam, when society breaks down, juggalos need their own flavor-based economy. Uh, Yeah, it'll probably be rock and red flavor, rock and rye. Excuse me, be some rock and rye flavored economy. Rock and rye is pretty badass soda too. Low knock. Wow, I got a nice buzz, my man. Weed tastes like my weed tastes like candy. My weed tastes like almost nothing. I don't know, man. It's a little rough. There's a panda in the house though. Can we get some panda action here? Well, she'll probably come down if I fucking smoke. She doesn't like smoking in the face anyway. All right, hold on. Mystic, I can't love people. Everyone I talk to starts off seeming decent and good, and after a while they just shift towards being like or fake or backstabbing. I don't know. Uh, I'm very selective on the people I associate with. So I usually don't have that problem. I'm a pretty good judge of character, and people are pretty judgy on me. That's one of the good things about looking the way I do, is only certain people are willing to associate with me. And it's usually not people who are too dickish, I've noticed. You know what I mean? You have to have an open mind. Like, oh, he's got long hair and dreadlocks and a beard and smokes pot and shit like that, you know, and dresses in a certain way and listens to a certain thing. People are judgy, and little they know when they're judging me is I'm weeding them out. You know, if you hate all these things, if you're judging me on these things, I don't want anything to do with you. So I've had a pretty good luck on that for the most part. I've had So I haven't had that too much, but I've definitely, when I was younger, you know, I've had everything from girlfriends. My girlfriend, the first person I've had girlfriends cheat on me with my best friend type shit. You know, everything that eventually happens. But I've noticed that the more positive I keep myself and keep everything around me, it kind of attracts similar. You know, they say, you know, opposites attract, and that opposites are attracted to each other, but I feel like at the same time, you know, it's more of a doing positive things, going in one positive motion attracts other things around you. It's kind of like when you blow into a subway bag. If you just hold it tight to your lips, you can barely blow it up. But if you take it away, you can get the air around it. Things follow a positive motion. And I feel like that's how it works in your life too. If you keep a positive outlook on your life, eventually good things will flock to that. Because negative people will be fucking put off by you. There's one thing negative people hate. It's someone in a good mood and someone who's truly a positive person. That's like fucking bleach and pneumonia. Sam, rock and rye will be worth 50. Cotton candy will be 75. Moon mist 100. I like all those. I think rock and rye is one of my favorites, though. I don't know what rock and rye is. I feel like before I had Fago, because it wasn't around, you know, I didn't have it until I was at least 10, 11, and I'd already had every soda other than that. There's something to it it like brings me back to like a childhood memory. I don't know what the flavor of rock and rye is, but it's good. And then Sam K. It helps look like white G. It helps to look like white Jesus. Me too. The bunny banana. Cheers. Cheers. What am I doing here? Cheers, everybody. There's a cute kitten right here. There's 4 kittens over there. They're both cats. Actually, I would say the kitten is right there. The 4 cats are over there, and the dog. Ugh, Sandy, what's your what you focus on, you become. Some Zen master who focused himself into non-being because they focus on nothing. So he doesn't exist anymore. But that's why that became a perfect yin yang. Oh, we can't really see it, but it's pretty good. All right. Yeah, you kind of do start to. I know I've always I'm lucky that I've always been able to pull out a little bit, and that's the fortunate of my life or whatever. I feel like I've been able to keep a positive turn to everything because I've had some dark, that fork in the road of depression and all these things, and I've always been able to kind of pull it through. But I've definitely had that feeling of it'd be really easy, especially if you live alone, which I've lived alone during my hardest times, and that was the biggest test. Because I'm like, I could easily live a very destructive lifestyle, and no one's there to know, and no one cares. No one cares in the sense because no one knows. Especially right now with COVID, I could just be like, I can't see, I got I don't see anybody anyway. So you could just get talk over the phone and kind of choke it through. This is the longest I've ever not seen my grandma. So I could have had a really weird lifestyle and fucking like just been like depressed and slept all day and did drugs all night or something horrible and fucking, it'd been really easy to live a self-destructive life, eat horribly, worse than I already do. Now I eat probably by everyone's standard pretty good, but I still feel like I eat way too much junk food. Bonak, hey, I came home before. Hey, before I came home, I made $5 to buy someone beer. People are nice. He bought me beer. I mean, as long as he wasn't like a toddler, I guess that's good. Hey, buddy, it's two kids on like one on the other shoulder in a trench coat. I think you're fine. Mystic, I consider myself physically inadequate for most people. I have a nice personality, but people seem to judge a book by its cover. They just use people for money or something. Well, I mean, that's a rough one. Also, I mean, I've noticed that goes both ways. You can't be too judgy on what other people look like too, uh, and you got to be open. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's definitely something. It's not good to have a negative self-image, but body dysmorphia is super common, uh, or just feeling that way. I don't know, man. Best thing to do is live healthy, and that will eventually become more of a mental state too. I know that my most negative points were when I was feeling. You can't be too happy if your body's not happy. So working on that the best you can. Sam K. Not sure what Rock and Rye is, but I love Rock and Rye Cola and Dr. Fago. Dr. Fago is great too. I like almost all the Fagos. It feels like they just took all the other flavors and just added a little bit more sugar to them. And I'm eating it. It's hard to go wrong there. I know a lot of people who wouldn't like that because they drink like LaCroix and shit like that, but I like that. I don't mind I don't know about LaCroix, but I'm starting to get into those flavored seltzer waters. Gypsy, I think boundaries are super important when it comes to people always out to use you. It took me a long time to realize that. That's not a bad thing too. Setting boundaries and being able to do that. I don't know. I'm pretty open and giving, but I probably have a lot of boundaries too. I know everyone's had their problems and everyone has their things. Each relationships. I think the key, and this is with like friends, jobs, people, everything. Even if it's very similar, you know, you can work at two of the same corporation buildings, and it could be totally different, ran different people working there. Every time you meet a friend, even if they're similar, they have similar jobs, they're similar, they remind you of someone you went to school with or something like that. They could be totally different. Even if this new person that you meet reminds you of this last person, you do have to walk into each relationship from job to anything with a clean slate because everyone's fucking different, dude. It's the individualism that we don't give people. We always say, oh, women are always this, men are always that, fucking gays are always this, blacks are always that, fucking, and it's like every time you categorize shit, you're full of shit because it's too hard to do that. I've met every single one of those groups of people with terrible people and great people in it. So I don't know how to judge that other than everybody seems very similar, other than the fact that their interests or physical appearance differ. So everyone I meet, dude, has a clean slate. And you fuck with that, and you fuck with fire. you, if you fuck that over, you get burned. But Gypsy, no, I really like that. Setting boundaries, especially if you have boundaries like that, where you're like, dude, I've been financially hurt by people. Set that shit. Fucking like make that verbally out there. I think people don't want to say out loud what things have affected them. And that's a big thing to know. Lonak, nah, he was about my age. How old are you? What am I missing here? Lona. Hey, I mean $5. Oh, okay, that kid. He was about my age. How old are you? Okay, yeah, that's a good question, Lonak. But yes, I was just joking about selling a toddler. As long as it wasn't a toddler, as long as it wasn't two kids on each other. Actually, if two kids with a trench coat and one was on the other, and they were trying to pull that shit off, and they could walk up to me and have a little painted on mustache, I would do it. I would buy that person liquor and some smokes. Those people, those two kids would get liquor and smokes from me, and I would. That's what it would take, though. They'd have to pull it off at a random point where I'm going into buy a liquor store, and excuse me, could I procure some liqueur? And they have to order a really old timey fancy drink, and I'd be like, okay, and some cigars. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to do that. Even if I go to jail, as long as they have to take the fucking mug shots of me and a kid, one, with the shirt open down here and the other one with the painted on mustache, I'm willing to be a meme or whatever it takes. A funny joke for the rest of my life. It's worth it to me. I'm taking that. Mystic, Dr. Pepper, vanilla, and cherry. Mountain Dew, Code Red, Fanta strawberry, and Fanta pineapple are my favorites. God. Okay, so Dr. Pepper, I had a problem. I've told a lot of people. At work was drinking, and Mountain Dew. It was Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew. I'd trade off between the two. I also, my work sold those too in both these forms. So I would drink a 2 liter at least by myself of one of those. Usually a Mountain Dew, 2 liter. Come home, and me and my girlfriend at the time would split every night, pretty much, a 12-pack of can of sodas throughout the night, not at once, slamming them, but pretty much, at that point. So I would have a 2 liter and another 6-pack of soda a day. I didn't drink coffee, so that was like my caffeine, but God, man, Dr. Pepper was my favorite. Billy Bong, what up? Billy Bong's Garden of Flowers. I like your new name. I like that. Garden of Flowers. Could I trouble you for a bottle of whiskey? Oh yeah, old timey whiskey. I would do it. Those kids would get. Goddamn, some things you have to reward in life, and the old two kids on it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Gypsy on BoJack Horseman. This pink cat lady dates a guy who's really two kids in a trench coat stacked on top of each other. That's kind of a pink cat lady dates a guy. That's kind of funny. I've never watched BoJack. I've heard a lot of people say the first episodes are rough, like almost every sitcom and show, but it gets good. It looks weird, but that's never stopped me from watching things. I'm surprised I haven't watched it because I usually like cartoons, but I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. And when I do, it's all old Mystery Science Theater and Star Trek. Old Star Trek in the background, like when I'm eating. Although I've been watching more TV, I've always found that when I'm with somebody else, we tend to watch TV together because it kind of breaks the silence and it's something to do. So TV's always on. But when I'm by myself, I tend to not. Billy Bong's Garden of Flowers. Garden of Flower. Billy Bong's Garden of Flowers, which I like. Gypsy, have you watched Big Mouth? I just saw the on Netflix. I saw the trailer, but it just how it plays that thing when you first go to the online or whatever. Anyway, I haven't actually listen to it. Gypsy, yeah, it starts out weird, but it's actually really good. I really think you would like it. Me or oh, you're talking about BoJack. Yeah, you're talking about BoJack. Yeah, it starts out weird, but it actually gets really good. I've heard that from at least now 2 people. You might have been the person who told me the first time, but yeah, I've heard that. And then Gypsy, no, I haven't had a chance to watch Big Mouth. Billy Bong says it's out there. It's out there, but funny but foul. Which again, I've heard BoJack can be a little foul too, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I wouldn't mind watching. Cartoons are my thing, but again, we were talking about time. It's just all a matter of time. I don't have too much, and I am stuck in like I guess like the '90s or something like that when it comes to television. Well, Billy Bond, I hope your garden of flowers is doing well. Um, I just started flowering my pretty babies. I have a whole bunch of good-looking clones here. Uh, they're ready to go. They're ready to transfer within the week at the most. So I need to build a couple. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about stuff to do. Mystic, smoking weed and watching the regular show. It's different. Regular show. Uh, is that the one with the bird? I think I know that one. The bird and the other one. Uh, which I really like the short cartoon it was based off of, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Again, I need to watch more stuff. Lonak, it's going into week 2 of Flower. So I am on maybe week 1 at the most, like somewhere in week 1. This might be day 6 or 7 right now. Oh, it's Sundays. It's about to be Sunday tomorrow, so this might be day 7. I would say solid, and it's starting to flower up more. You can see the starts, but no buds really yet, and it's not quite crystallizing by any means like I would like it to. The stems are, but not too much leaf action going on. I hope yours is doing really well. Oh, that's Lonok who said you're going into week 2 of flower. That's awesome, Lonok. That's where I'm at. Or Billy Bong is the same thing. Same question goes to you. Gypsy, thanks. I need a new show for when the kids are asleep and I can turn off Coco Melon or some guy reviewing Legos. Oh, God. That's funny. Billy Bong. It's going well. Just put up a video of my new lights in the 4th week of flower. Video on, where should I look? Is it on your, can I look on, where would it be? Do you have a YouTube channel and I've never checked it out? Have you never told me to look at your YouTube channel? Or is it your Instagram? Should I look at your Instagram more? I can show a picture of your Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, how I grow with a light bulb. There you go. Okay, so I'm looking at your plants right now. What do you got here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5. One little tiny guy. 5 little guys in there.
Oh, 9-watt light bulb.
9-watt light bulb. There we go. Lonok, this is the best time to flower because it's winter and cold will help build up more trichomes, and you don't have to worry about sunlight. Yeah, sunlight. I mean, it is the natural time for it. Fergie, roll up a fatty and put on some Paradise PD. I don't know Paradise. I've seen that one too. A two. I know my girlfriend's wife. Two. A two. Put on some hair ice tattoo and put on your phony accent and get ready for a funny time.
I might do that for another 2 weeks, maybe, and move on to a bigger life. But for 9-watt LED light bulb, that's like pennies.
There you go. There we are. Let's like that one.
Put that in a vise. Pop off the plastic. There you go. Got a grow light. 5,000 K.
Suck at everything. Where's the thing? There we go.
Cardboard box. Perfect for starters.
Alright. But alright. So it is 10:30. So we're gonna spin the wheel of dabs. Probably load one more bowl and call it. Hopefully we'll get done by about 11ish or so. I got the OG hood in the flower room yesterday. So I'm watching your stuff. I didn't know. I'm subscribing to your stuff right now. For some reason, I didn't know you had stuff. Just wasn't sure. Well, awesome. Uh-oh. Got some free seed giveaways going on. Yeah, check out Billy Bong's Garden of Flowers, right? Yeah. There you go. That's awesome. Perfect. So, yeah. You should. I don't know how I missed that. I think I only knew your Instagram, and I guess I didn't check it deep enough, man. I'm sorry. Well, check that out. That's great. But you got the OG hood in the flower room yesterday. So I think I was telling you, this is my first time using straight up LED lights. I got 2,400 watts, two 1,200 watt LEDs. And this is my first harvest and first real full grow. See how it goes. Billy Bongs. Yeah, sub and you can win free seeds. I got 6 different strains. I subbed before I knew that that was a thing. So, but yes, that's awesome. Didn't know that. Right now, I have some mango kush that I got for free when I got my green crack seeds. My green crack, I'm in you can't judge it. You can't judge wine by looking at the grape, but you can get a good idea. So far, it's very sativa-y, and the green crack is, I don't know how it's going to produce and how it's going to do. Because it's sativa-y and very, vine-like, it's actually making good for scroggin or whatever, screen of green, where you can like weave it throughout the screen and really get it kind of bushing out. You can kind of control it better. But I'll tell you when I'm harvesting and when I smoke it, that's really the true test. Smelling it, you can get a good idea too. And right now, it just started smelling. I have a really strong carbon filter exhaust going outside, but the carbon filter is so old, it's just transferring air more than it's actually filtering the smell. So when you're outside, it's just now starting to be like, oh man, it smells like fucking dank out here. Fergie, ordering some new spores. Have you tried the Golden Teachers yet? Was curious if they were any good. So my experience with the Golden Teachers is I had an extremely high contaminant rate. I don't know. I need to start just doing a whole new set of spores because maybe I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, period. Let's just say that. I've learned a shit ton. I know now. I'm going to do a lot of mushroom tech because I've learned the way I like to do it from start to finish. My goal is to make, and I want to do this for pot end for mushrooms is to make a 30 to 45-minute video broken up into about 3 or 4 sections, and put it out as one long video and then the 3 or 4 sections separate, and one on how I'm growing pot and keeping that continuous, rotating it out, cloning it, so I always have a constant supply off of one plant, and mushrooms, how I've, start to finish. And the easiest way I've found for both of those, personally. Excuse me. Because I've kind of got, I like doing things as easy as I can. I don't have a lot of time is the problem. And I've experimented a lot where I'll do it the hard way with a lot of effort, and I'll do it the easy way. And a lot of the time, the easy way is just as effective, if not more, because it's less effort. So I have the ways I like to do it. I wanted to get back in the swing of things, and right now I'm going through harvests, and then I'm probably start. I should start it with these clones. I should have said how I cloned them, and because I like how I do my clones. I did 9 clones, and I have had 9 wins, except for I broke one in half, putting the lid on. I snapped it. And then I wanted to really look at the root mass from the inside and how it was doing. It was doing okay. And then the cats ate it because they have fun with plants. So, yeah. Oh, Lonok, Fergie, I failed GT, Golden Teachers. GT, Golden Teachers are just, they were hard contaminant. I got some. But so also I have a big mix up with all my psychedelic mushrooms where they're a little bit mixed up. So I need to fruit them before I know exactly which ones I have again. But I have, fortunately, a lot of my edible ones are very distinct. They're oyster mushrooms and look nothing like. So, Lonok, I got some bad news. I failed my mushroom grow. I got decam. Don't worry about it. I was pissed. I spent good money. I bought some Mexican strains, and I'm still going to use a all-in-one grow bag. I'm still learning. Lonok, I failed. That's what you failed your Golden Teachers. Okay, I missed that top one. So don't be too bummed. Is you okay? Is you okay? Poor guy. Poor guy. Don't be bummed. I've had tons of contam. I think, so I got 3 right here. Contam, I don't know why I took this one out. This one looks like it's actually going to do fine. Or is it? But, I mean, okay, so it's just a very trial and error thing. These don't look as bad as I thought. These look pretty white, really. Like that one looks glowing white in the video. Do any of these have contam? It's weird that these all started doing good when I took out of where they should be doing bad. And it's got kind of a funky look to it. But anyway, I mean, I've gone through a lot of problems, but I will say this one thing. And growing pots similar. There are stronger strains and weaker strains, and not in potency or flavor or taste, but just in how they thrive and how easy they are to grow. Oyster mushrooms, B+ strain. I mean, I can't emphasize those, especially if you buy through Spore Works. If you go to Spore Works, those 2 strains just are extremely strong, virulent. I mean, their contamination rate is really good. They're quick growing, high yielding. I mean, those are great places to start. And they say right on there that those are good places to start. I can say from experience with I've grown 5 different types of psychedelic mushrooms and 4 different types of edible mushrooms. 2 took off. Oyster mushroom, or B+ mushrooms and oyster mushrooms. So I would highly recommend attempting those. My Golden Teachers were one of the next best, though, on how they did. So they're not bad. All right. I'm gonna cook some macaroni and some chicken strips. It's 1 a.m. and I'm hungry as fuck, Mystic. Good on it. You have a good night, man. I'm gonna spin the wheel for you and everybody else, and then I'm probably gonna call it a night pretty quick after that. Fergie, very helpful. Looking forward to the upcoming videos on mushrooms and cloning. Yeah. So my goal is to do the circle where, like, you could watch my videos in a circle in the sense that the beginning is right at the end. It'd be nice to make it do that too, where I said, well, hello, and good ends in a repeat or whatever. So so you can start with clones. I'm just going to have clones at the very beginning of the video. Show you how I build my tent, build everything, because I'm going to do that here soon. I wish I could do it all now, but I'm so tight on time and budget that it'd be hard. It might have to be my next one. But build my tent, build my thing, do my clones, show one grow, and just condense it all into, like I said, maybe 30 minutes and split the videos. And clone them, grow them, flower them, dry them, and then show how I take clones and off of them at the end, and you can see how the circle goes. Same with mushrooms. Right now, I just get spores, popcorn, jars. That's all you need at first. And then vermiculite, cocoa core, and Tupperware. Some rubbing alcohol, gloves, bleach, water. I mean, very simple shit. And that's been the most productive. And I've done it harder ways and it's been less productive. So it's weird. Zeus, I definitely don't see many of the streams, but for sure you deserve more viewers. Well, we were just talking about it earlier. I was watching one guy's. I was watching a big show do a stream, and they had 15,000 viewers on the stream, and you can't possibly have a conversation. I couldn't talk to you and say, "What?" Fucking. It's flying by, but it's almost 11. Let's take a dab. We got the short forest, which is great because I have it right here, and I need to be eating a quick bite to eat and going to bed. And getting ready for another day of work in the morning. Zeus, that's true. Unfortunately, it's true. And I just was saying earlier, don't get me wrong, I would like to have a lot of viewers, but I also haven't done much to do. These are fun, but I mean, I don't get a lot of new people coming into these. These are usually a circle of people who've been hanging out. But that's what makes them cool as well. Jump like a bunny. All right. So, I mean, like everything, there's give and take. Give and take. That's the way she goes. It's the way of the road. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten really good views. Like the things that I put a little bit more effort into, I've gotten really good views. So this I don't put a lot of effort into, but that's different. So Zeus, kind of like neighborhood where everyone knows each other. And like I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it, but with the way things are right now, I haven't been smoking pot with everybody, and to be able to have somebody to hang out with and smoke with safely. And like I was saying earlier, one of the things about smoking pot with people at their house and shit, it's great to get really stoned and have fun. Then you gotta drive home, and it's like, oh, dude, I do not want to drive home at night. And then you're always like, oh, should I stop at Taco Bell because I'm fucked up and I don't want to cook when I get home, and it added on another half hour to get home. And so it's nice to be able, we can hang out and you can just turn it off and you're home. So go to bed. So that's nice. Sandy, wow, Ziggy really loves you, man. Saw him licking your hand there, sweet. He has an oral fixation in the sense that he has to lick everything around him, including every cat, the wall, fucking my beard, my hair. He's just a fucking insane cat. Love the cat. It also makes it really hard to sleep with him around. Right now, we have it so all the other cats are in the bedroom, which it's a big bedroom. It's the master bedroom, and it's got a bathroom in it and a big walk-in closet. So they have a decent amount of room, but the rest of the house is for Ziggy and Panda because, I mean, they were here first, and it's just taking time to reacquaint the cats. But anyway, cheers, everybody. Woo! Mystic, I said fuck it, and I'm cooking a supreme pizza. That's what I need to do. That's really what I need. Somewhere around there. Billy Bong. Sounds like me get fucked up. Wait, sounds like me get fucked up and be like, I'm hungry, stopping at Taco Bell. Yeah, on the way home, it's like, well, fuck, I just need to eat, and there's food, and I'm driving, and it's open, and then I'm like, okay, I get like 4 burritos, and I eat 2 on the way home, and then I'm like, oh, I just got 2 burritos for us. Do you want a burrito? And it's like, it's not good. It's not good. If I hadn't done that so many times, it wouldn't be so funny. Zeus, I find that really funny because I work at Taco Bell. Yeah, I don't actually eat any more Taco Bell. I've cut myself off from fast food for the most part. Every now and then, because I do, and I drive for a living, so it's hard not to get drive-through. But that's why I don't get it, especially Taco Bell. I don't like where that money goes, to be 100% honest. If you look too deep into it, but that was, I think. Mystic, I was high once, and I was like, Google, call 911, call 911. It was funny. It totally did it. I shouldn't have done that. I just said that out loud. I didn't see. You know I'm rating everything out loud. So if you say I said this, now I'm gonna like randomly do that on the show because you told me that. I read it out loud. Call 911. Calling 911, and then they're gonna hear me on the show and be like, well, "This is very interesting. Let's go arrest this fine young gentleman for being so fucking nonviolent." Anyway, Gypsy, I just subscribed Billy Bong. I also changed my profile picture to something more current, but I don't know if it worked. Not yet. You're still with the hat. I think that's the same one I've seen. But, Billy Bong, I'm really sorry I didn't notice you had a thing. I'm going to watch all your YouTube videos here soon. So expect that. I suggest everybody else does too. Mystic, one time I was so high I used my phone's flashlight to find it. Oh God, that's a bad one too. Are you serious? That's like using your glasses to look for your glasses. Oh man, God, I just can't see. Hold on. Where are those fucking glasses? That's a bad one. That's funny, dude. I was so high once we lost my friend, so me and him helped me find him. It's funny. Billy Bong, Taco Bell used to be good. They suck now. The menu changed, so you're not missing anything, Venom. And then thanks, Gypsy, and thanks, Venom. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I suggest everybody watches Billy Bong's videos because that's awesome. And now's the time we load the bowl. Say goodnight. Cuddle up with the ones we care about. Shit. I wake up and I got a cat on both sides of me, a dog where my fucking everything under the knees should be, sometimes a cat on top of me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm pinned. I feel very loved, and then somebody I care about as well, so I'm happy. It's very happy. That's one thing about introducing these cats once it's a full everyone can go everywhere, it will be a little intense with 5 cats and a dog. I literally bought a bigger bed to accommodate. I was in a queen size bed, and I'm like, this ain't fucking happening. Like, we had to bump it up to a king size pretty quick. I'm like, yeah, and I need a new mattress. It's the first time I ever had like a brand new nice mattress, and it's done done a bunch for me. Gypsy, okay, did it work now? I still see my hat picture when I comment. Damn it. Yeah, it might take a minute, or it might be stuck on my end. Sometimes things take a second. But let's smoke a bowl. And like I said, I'm gonna be going to bed now because it's 11. But that was the goal, is to be done before 11. So we're really close. And it is what it is. I truly enjoy hanging out with you guys, or I wouldn't do it. Mystic, I like to watch Gabriel Iglesias. I don't know who he is. No offense, but you're the white Bob Marley. I don't know. I did a Bob Marley cover, so there's that. Even though I like Bob Marley, but it's weird that I did a cover of that. So you can watch that. It's cool. No offense. No offense taken. Bob Marley's cool. I think everybody can agree on that. Yeah. Gypsy, I love your Bob Marley cover. Well, thank you, Gypsy, because it was dedicated to you, pretty much. I wouldn't have done it without you. It wasn't on my mind until you told me about it. Yeah, I tried. What sucks now is my girlfriend can sing it really good, and it would have been even more. I might have to redo it again. Just have her record it over, because she does it better than I would have. Gypsy Hearts, yeah, there you go. But yeah, she can sing it far better than I did. I didn't really sing it. I did like a monster voice on it, really. So, all right. But maybe soon I'll figure out a way to do a live stream and record the album I'm trying to work on. So, like I said, I've never seen that. I think it'd be really cool to do a live stream of an album being made, and I could smoke and hang out, and you could see it happen as it happens. Probably a lot of me zoning out and not doing a lot of this, but still. Mystic, Suicide Boys and Ghostmane are my favorite artists. I don't know Ghostmane very well, although I'm guessing he'd be okay. Suicide Boys are good, even though I don't know if their message is all that positive, if that makes sense. But they're not bad. I know 3 6 Mafia is suing the shit out of them, where that's the last I heard, for using all their samples. They were like okay with it for a minute, and then it's like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Gypsy, Dave just said you would love Ghostmane. Ghostmane, I want to say I've probably heard at least one song. I probably would like him. He looks like Marilyn Manson's nephew, but that's not a bad thing. That's not a terrible thing. I actually think I would. I know I've done some borderline screamy vocals in my rappier songs that I've heard is similar to that, but again, I've never really listened to the dude, but I've heard the comparison made. Just anyone who does that type of vocal. I'm always down to listen to anything. Mystic, my favorite is To Whom It May Concern. I'm always open to suggestions. So one day I'm gonna make a rap album. It's gonna happen. But I've had an idea to do it live on the show again, as much as possible. At least the making of the music. Gypsy, Dave said he's gonna send you some shit. Okay, that's cool. All right, one last hit, everybody, and then I'm calling it a night because it's way late, and I probably am gonna be up later now than I should be. But god damn it, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I feel like a little kid going to school. I don't want to go. It's not that bad actually. I haven't felt that bad for a while about going to work. Now I just feel like I wish I'd made more goddamn money, but who doesn't feel that way? Well, Lonock, yeah, I'm tired too, man. Yeah, and I still gotta eat a little bit and hang out and get everything ready like I always do before bed. I have a lot of little stuff I gotta do. Plants need water. I like the hydro system I'm using. I'm also going to do a bunch of different little videos. Sandy, good night, everybody. I'll see y'all next week. Peace and love. Well, everybody, this is to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys mean a hell of a lot to me. This day means a lot to me. To hang out and, like, I always set it aside. Even if I'm a little late, and every now and then I miss it. It means a bunch. So have a wonderful night. Here's to it. Woo! Wee! Billy Bog, take it easy. Mystic, Hobie, from another country. Sounds good. Where are you from, really quick, Mystic? And then we'll say goodnight. Sandy, you have a good night? From across the country. Okay. Anyway, I thought you're from another country. I'm like, all right, well, that's cool too. Anyway, good night. Be safe. Have a good day tomorrow. All of you guys just do the same. I'll see you next week. North Carolina. North Carolina. Well, that's cool, man. You have a good night. I will talk to you all very soon. Wait, I'm in North Carolina. Okay. Well, everybody, have a good night. Stay positive, stay safe, and take it easy. Keep it keepy. Good night, everybody.